Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me.
Hello, and welcome to our very latest episode of the Xbox Night Quest. I am CMoney, and I'm joined by the always lovely Doodle.
What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Thank you so very much for rocking out with us tonight. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed. Now, guys, it's a Tuesday night, which means it's not just myself. It's not just Doodle. No, we have the homies live in the building with us. And of course, this is where we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and start with the homie Broke Boy in the building. Shout out to Broke Boy. Thank you for being here, brother, man. Appreciate you. How's everything going?
Going good. I just realized I'm wearing one of my old 60 pounds heavier shirts, so I might actually have to go change later. Before too long.
So you said you wanted the hobo look for this episode. I get it. Or you just wanted to flex about the weight loss. Is that what it is? Be like, oh, this little old thing that used to fit me snug now just draped all over me.
I'm officially at 60 pounds now since last summer. So.
That's awesome, bro. Congrats, man.
Congrats. I put it on and turn on the camera and look. It's like, hang on a second. That's not right.
Well, listen. You got the time. You got the time. Well, thank you for being here, man. Of course, we always appreciate the homie Broke Boy in the building. And if you were around recently, you saw that we have the angles is crazy down there, right next to Broke Boy, not behind me. I don't know. I started pointing back there, but you got our boy.
You went diagonally, babe.
JShock blast in the building. Shout out to JShock, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. Definitely very interested to see in the bars of what you're feeling, and I saw some tweets. I'm just trying to see where you're standing, brother. How's everything, man? How you doing?
Some people say things and I react, and then I fall for the traps that I said I didn't want to fall for. It is what it is,
I hear you, Jay. I hear you.
What it is. It is what it is.
You're like today I'll do better, and then it's like you hear all this crazy stuff out there, and you're like, maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'll do better. Well,
listen, I lived through Marvel Avengers and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And those were some of like the worst days to be on the internet because the dialogue around those games was just dookie.
Toxic.
So I've found a way to like find some zen and not react to everybody anymore, but that did not work this morning. So
that didn't work. Well, listen, all you could do is try, right?
It wasn't even that bad this morning, but it was just stupid people. I can't take it. I can't do it.
The arguments around it is so dumb. I definitely, I want to hear your bars on it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to get into it shortly. But before we do that, we do have a new face to you guys who watch us normally. That's right. Damn it. That's Doodle. But next to Doodle, on the other side, we have our boy Josh in the building with Game List Plus, right?
That's right. Game List Plus.
That's right.
Hosting creator.
Tell us about yourself.
Oh, yeah, just briefly. I do a lot of VR content, covering the Quest 3 and immersive tech, but gaming has always been the core, all types of gaming. So PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, all of it. We were talking a little bit before we started about how I used to be very much on the side of PlayStation. Nowadays, it is definitely the lines have blurred, and I'm seeing Xbox coming back strong in a way that I really appreciate. So glad to be here.
Awesome, man.
Happy to have you, Josh.
Yeah, we met Josh at Summer Games Fest. Literally playing
Out of
what's
words.
his name? Out of Words. And you know what?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I was really kind of annoyed that I went back the next day and they completely had
They
it
fixed it.
covered. And you could
Yeah.
see me and Josh were playing this game without being able to see the screen.
We're trying
That's
so
messed
hard.
up.
Like, yeah.
Literally, it was just open to the light, like the daylight, and it was
Yeah.
And
like
it was
you could
bright.
not see anything. And I stopped and watched people play it, and I was like, oh man, that's what it looks like. But then also I was like, all those parts that I was stuck at because I could not see my body were just normal easy.
And it was in the Nintendo booth as well, and it was all perfectly clear because it was enclosed. And I was like, well, so that's what it looks like. It looks really nice. But I will note
Exactly.
that the thing that stood out is we could see the colors on the shirt, and like it was like that bright neon green. That actually was something that I could say just off the bat was a positive about the game. You can see the characters. I mean, you couldn't see the environment with that glaring sun, but the actual design is
But
cool. It's nice
But
and
the
bright.
neon colors stood out.
I feel like
Yeah.
You guys got played, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like we thought it looked really good without even really being able to see it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like
Oh, that's
says a
great.
lot.
Then.
that's good, right? That's definitely a positive. All right. So all right, listen, I want to do a brief shout out to the homies. We do have a crunch time, you know, when we have guests, they have things to do. They can't just be rocking like crazy like we do here. So they are giving us their precious time to hang out. So I cannot go ahead and do our normal, you know, long, you know, start to the show. But I will go ahead.
I got until like 9:30.
All right. Well, I don't want to go crazy because I'd rather take that time with your guys' thoughts and feedback as opposed to just this. Maybe I'll double back, but I do want to shout out the top three. Okay. Top three have to get their burn. All right. Number 3 in the building.
Who?
Oh, damn.
Who?
You're right. See, when I'm cutting it, it messes everything up. But that's okay. So who are these people? Who number 3? You do it. Who is User for Games?
Let's
Shout out to
go.
User for Games. Number 3 person in the building.
Yo, is
He's
that
not messing around.
Prowl? I need to know.
Prowl.
Is that Prowl from Transformers?
The
I'm
picture.
wearing my
Bro.
Optimus Prime shirt, so
Oh, nice.
I need to know
wow.
if it's Prowl.
What a perfect combo.
Let's go.
All right, sorry.
Listen, I don't know who that is. There you go. A shirt that fixed. Good job, bro.
You did it, bro, boy.
Oh, you switched to the Xbox shirt.
Oh, that's a
Nice.
dope ass Xbox shirt, by the way.
I got this one.
Okay.
And the white one.
Number 2 in the building.
Who? Tell us.
Is our boy E Ranks. Shout out to E Ranks.
Let's
Number 2 in the building.
go.
He's not messing around.
Mm-mm.
And then number 1, the best bot of the night. That's gonna be our boy. Pal Xbox for life.
No,
Shout out
fam
to Pal
down.
Xbox for life. You did it. You are the most special of the evening, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my friend. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just say really quick shout out to our elite members, Dark Angelic, Queen Witch, Broke Boy, Pal Xbox for life. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the support. And then of course we have our inner circle members. That's our highest tier, guys. That's Pragmatic Eagle. Pragmatic Eagle. I don't know what the hell happened there. Hargy Chani and Marvelous Marvin. Shout out to you.
You
guys.
got fancy with it.
And then again, our May
Problematic
champions.
people.
Most top 3s for the month of May was number 1, E Ranks.
Let's go.
Most first super chats was from our boy Mac22TH54. Biggest super chat came from our boy Pragmatic Eagle. Most biggest super chats was a tie between Pragmatic Eagle and Jay Slay. And then our top 3 most gifted subs came from number 1, Spartan661, number 2, Ryu Art, and number 3, Broke Boy. And then the most subs gifted at once is Spartan661. Shout out to you guys. Thank you all for the support. You
Thank
guys
you
are
so
awesome.
much, you guys.
Appreciate all of you. Now, that being said, all right, normally I shout out the homies who are in the building. Appreciate you. Of course, Broke Boy said he's going to make himself known. He got the $2 super chat. First super chat of the night. None of these yet? Well, you done did it.
Oh, there
All right,
you go.
you were the first one. So kudos to you, my friend. Appreciate you. And oh man, Broke Boy went ahead and gifted 5 all point for gamers memberships. Didn't I tell you that we're on a crunch time? But thank you, man. Appreciate you, my dude. Y'all know what to do.
Did I get one? Tell them, baby.
Mother effing welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us. And of course, our boy, Broke Boy. Thank you so much for
Broke Boy, you the man.
Appreciate you, homie. In the chat right now, go ahead, put the emojis in there, letting Broke Boy know what you feel about him and how much you appreciate him. Shout out to Broke Boy. Thank you so much, bro. All right. No, don't, no images.
No images,
No
Broke
images.
Boy.
When I tell you about the images,
But
with
don't be
YouTube.
shy, you guys. Don't be shy.
You know, did I tell you
What?
that YouTube came after me for King?
What?
Remember in the beginning
Yes.
what he said
Mm-hmm.
about why you would be so obsessed?
Oh, no way.
Yep.
No way.
Slander.
Wow.
Derogatory slander.
Damn.
Just saying, even though if you were there, you heard what he said, and they got us.
Damn.
YouTube does not mess
They're
around.
looking at me like, what's so wrong with what he just did?
I'm just trying to see who's over there.
Listen, that's you gotta look. The people. What do you mean we're the audience? They're everywhere. All right.
That was valid. His example was valid.
I mean, the example made sense.
100%.
I'll take the.
So
I'll take
we'll
the
take
mark.
the hit.
I'll take the mark.
Why not?
Okay. Well, listen. There's a lot of stuff that is transpiring in the world of Xbox. But before we do that, okay, I would be remiss if I did not go ahead and take advantage of the fact that I do have the homie Josh here and JShock. They were also at Summer Games Fest. And I do just want to start off by getting like your top 3 experiences that are not embargoed. Okay. If it's embargoed, it's not one of your top 3 experiences right now. Okay. So top 3 gaming experiences you had at Summer Games Fest, being the newest one on the show. The homie Josh, you take the floor first. Just tell us, what were your favorite 3 games that you got your hands on that are not currently embargoed? Or
Erosion?
maybe not hands on, maybe you saw it, whatever. You just
I was gonna
3
say,
games.
there's certain things that like were super impressive that I was like blown away by in certain ways that we did not get to touch. We just got to watch someone else, one of the devs, sit and play. But even then, that was fun too, you know, getting to actually see gameplay. And I'm realizing after, when reaching out to the PR people, like there are a lot of things that they're like, yeah, we'll give you B-roll, and you get the B-roll, and it's like, it's the trailer basically. I'm like, okay, so I have no content to show with that. All right, I'll just talk about
it. Which is like the most difficult thing. You're basically just talking over a trailer at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm like, everybody's seen the trailer. What did you give me exactly? Screenshots. Okay, cool. No,
those were great in video.
Yeah, right. Just put them in videos with zoom effects. It'll be great.
That's it.
No, let's see. What I think my favorites were Control Resonant. That was definitely one of the highlights. That was phenomenal. And it's funny because I didn't actually beat Control. Now I'm psyched to actually play from beginning to end. And I just beat 007 First Light today, finally. I finally had some time to finish it.
Nice.
But Control Resonant, that was a highlight for sure. Things I wanted to be highlights were things like Code Veronica. I wanted to see gameplay of that. Nothing for that, unfortunately. Just a promise of it happening. We know nothing more than anyone else, even with the sit-down Q&A that happened.
Yeah, the behind closed doors was wild.
We did a Q&A. Like a lot of us got to go
out.
and sit at Capcom and do this Q&A with the games director, and it was similar. It was like it was exactly the same stuff that we heard, that everyone heard in the live show. You know, it was just kind of like, yeah, it's coming. Are you excited? Yes. You know, I think the only thing that was like real information. No, I was just gonna say the only thing that was like truly good information was the fact that it will be third person.
I was literally gonna say that.
In.
That's the only thing we got out of our session.
Yeah, it's funny. But that's great. That's good to know. I mean, and you know, I like first person. It's cool. A game that was a little bit more obscure that was there that I thought was awesome is Erosion. I'm actually getting ready to do a video on that, which I got some really good B-roll from and over the shoulder stuff. Did you play that one, CMoney?
Damn, bro. That's one. There's, you know, the problem. There was so many games. There's
it's ridiculous.
And that was on the list of games that I would have loved to get to, but my schedule was too packed to fit it in. And I was like, man, that blows. And I think that's a Game Pass joint, if I'm not.
Oh, nice.
I think I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it's a Game Pass joint.
There's no official release date, but it's sounding like it'll be 2027. But it'd be smart for him to wait. I was talking to the developer, and he was sounding like he's a little bit like, okay, yeah, everything is coming out in September and October other than GTA in November. So a lot of the developers I talked to that were smaller developers were like, I don't have the pressure on me, so I'm gonna probably wait as long as until after the hype dies down, kind of thing. And I think for his sake, I think they should wait until after. But that was a really good one, and I think I've named more than 2 already. So Onimusha was really cool. I think one of the funniest ones, which actually is launching in early access, which is not my thing, but I know a lot of people are into it. EverQuest Legends. They're bringing back EverQuest.
Oh, wow.
For all the people who love that. Yeah. It's literally a 1-to-1 of the old game, but it's like a single player mode. Not something I'm going to play personally, but very interesting to have.
They invited me to see it, and I watched the trailer, and I was like,
it's the same game from the 90s.
Like, why would I? Why? Why?
It was not a highlight for me, but I feel like it's worth mentioning because people are like true like modders and those deep gamers that really love that stuff. Well, they'll enjoy that too. But yeah, there were a lot of good ones that were there, but those are some of the highlights for me for sure. Tomb Raider too. That was good.
Oh my God, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation.
Yo, Tomb Raider was amazing. I loved it. All right. Another thing, obviously, when we were there, you did tell me that was your first Summer Games Fest, right?
Second one.
Was that second one?
That was
okay.
Yeah.
So you were just like me. This is the second one. Last year was the first one. How did it feel being back in there versus last year? So versus the first time you went, how did it
was
feel?
way busier, I noticed. Like last year, it was it felt a little bit more exclusive in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. Because remember they had like a whole separate section for content creators and for press and everything, and it was like fully like catered food with bar.
That's where Nintendo was now.
Yeah, exactly. They had Nintendo there this time, which is cool, but it just felt like it's just shift in times. I think it's just they know that they need to get to more content creators. So it's like they had to open it up a bit more, which is cool because it actually allowed for more networking and getting to meet people like you while we were there. So it was definitely a little bit different, but I think it's a shift in the right direction in terms of having options. And I feel like I got to do more this year, and it's probably just because I've grown and managed to make more connections and communicate with people about upcoming projects to get in the room for a lot of stuff. But there's always a lot of really exclusive stuff that only certain outlets even get access to. So it's funny to see like Jake Baldino talking about, I got to sit down and play XYZ game, and you're like, what? I didn't get to play.
It wasn't even on the docket.
Yeah, it wasn't even on the list. Yeah, there was no PR email about that at all.
And it's like, what room were you in, my dude? Like,
exactly. But there were
like
really
every part.
There were hidden rooms everywhere at that place, though. It's funny. Like there were spaces that I sat in and played games that I had no idea were there last year. They were just like tucked in a corner somewhere, like what?
Facts.
Little cabanas and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool.
All right, that's dope. Jay, now that we're removed a little bit and you have some time to sit on it, what are your like top 3 experiences from Summer Games Fest that you got to handle?
Well, I'm very afraid of those embargo snipers, and I love the fact that you said my top 3 favorite experiences, because that gives me a total cop out. Obviously all the CMoney and why am I blanking? Iron Lords,
King or
Cognito. All the CMoney and Cognito hugs I got, definitely top 3.
Nice.
Bethesda soft serve, I had ice cream every single day I was there, and it was absolutely delightful. I watched them make it. They put actual fruit into this contraption, and it mixed it into this amazing soft serve ice cream. I had the strawberry one every day, and it was very
one was
delightful.
completely free. There was no tickets involved.
Yeah, exactly. You can probably keep going back.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I did run in. Some of us are not very intelligent and thought Xbox was on Saturday.
Okay. He wasn't talking about you. Okay?
Yeah. So they thought Xbox was on Saturday, so they didn't book anything for Saturday. So I went over the IGN Fest, which a fan had told me was going on. So I did go over there, and I did get to meet up with a fan. And then at Xbox, another person came up to me. I'm just standing there and it's like, wait, you're JShock Blast. Like, I am. Like, oh, dude, I love you. I've been watching you for this long. It's always like a certain game for people, and it's always funny to me to figure out which game it was because I've done so many. For him, it was Marvel's Avengers, but for a lot of people, it's a Lego game or it's Marvel Heroes. But I will say an actual real answer. Shout out to Magic the Gathering because they actually gave me stuff that was cool. Like I got some Magic cards for the new Marvel set, and I got a Wolverine, and that was really cool.
Nice.
So anyway, I did enjoy that. I think we were discussing that. I don't know, one game that was mentioned that I played 2 years ago at Summer Game Fest, and when I played it 2 years at Summer Game Fest, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying whether or not I played it at this Summer Game Fest, but 2 years ago, I did play Phantom Blade Zero at Summer Game Fest 2 years ago, 2024. I played it in 2024, and based on that experience, I did enjoy it. And I'm not usually into games that are like Soulsy. So 2024, not 2026. Who's to say what happened in 2026?
Did they ask you if you played the demo before? And I was like, what demo? I looked online for a demo and I was like, I don't know what you mean, a demo.
It might have meant
2024.
They might have meant that, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't go last year.
Yeah.
I did not get invited to Nintendo either. So I guess what was in there? Was there anything good that you could talk about?
I was gonna say the Nintendo one. I actually am not 100% sure. I know one I can't talk about at all.
Okay, it's fine.
But the rest of it, a lot of the stuff that was in there was other places in the show, just on different systems. So a lot of it,
gotcha.
It's also on Switch, like Turok, for example. That embargo's passed for sure. The Turok, that's on all systems, and then they had it single player mode available to play in the Switch booth. So that was actually really cool too. But that'll be fully online, cross playable too, which is a nice addition.
That's really dope.
So that area 2 years ago was Tekken and Namco Bandai, and the only reason I remember is because they had Armored Core 6, and I got to do some like thing downstairs, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be in our video?" And I'm like, "Sure." They never even sent me this game, by the way, but I was in their like hype video, and like I love it because can I show you? Like, can I pull up something for you?
Yeah,
all right, give me a second. This is one of my favorite pictures of me ever because I really hammed it up for them. It's gonna take me a second for it to load, but like they were like asking me all these things about Armored Core, and I'm like, dude, I just signed up to watch the thing. Like, I'm not like this big fan or anything. I feel like I shouldn't be here, but I'll put on a show, and you can do what you want. All right, here it comes right
That's
here.
hilarious, Jay.
This is the best. Let's see, share screen. This I don't know if does it come up. All right. That's all you need to know right there is that face. Okay. That's the face of someone that I mean, it was perfect. I think that was the middle of me saying they were asking how many times people were gonna die. And I said, I'm gonna die in the loading screen. And they used that clip. So I did my best, but they had that all built up and everything. So when you were talking about that.
Nothing quite like a developer sitting next to you when you're playing their game, expecting you to be good at it. It's like they're like, "Oh no, just go over there," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you, yes."
Is that the left?
No pressure.
What's funny though? I have a lot of the I have a lot of the people who were sitting next to me. I almost had like the opposite effect where a lot of people kept trying to like mansplain me how to play a game. I'm like, dog, I got it. All right, just relax. I know how to move. Okay, give me a second, please.
Stranger Than Heaven. That was one where I could show that I was there and I played it, but I don't remember the embargo. But yeah, they were hanging out over my shoulder, and I was not doing very well. Like, because it got progressive. Well, I don't know. I don't want to go too far because I don't remember that one. I don't think it's up yet. But yeah, that was my iconic picture from this one. they had like the desk, like a little photo opportunity. So I just sat at the desk and tried to look as tough as I could. It didn't really work, but I did my best, and my Discord loves it. So win.
That works, man. Let me get the homie Joseph Lemons in the building.
Joseph,
Shout out to Joseph, man. Thank you brother for being here. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It says happy Tuesday, Bungee layoffs at the stables. Apparently,
Damn.
that's gonna be crazy.
It's
I
rough out
jest,
there,
but
huh?
good luck to those affected between Xbox and PlayStation. I miss Doodle on cam.
Oh, thank you, love. So, we just did a show. I think like 2 shows ago. No,
Thursday.
where I was on camera. It's
Yeah,
just it depends because of my computer. It's working through. I'm
Yeah, it's
live
difficult when there's
now
a lot of
through
people. 'Cause
C-Money's.
for whatever reason, it doesn't want to play nice.
It doesn't
It
want
was,
to play.
it was
Nice.
it was last Tuesday because you were doing your recap of.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yep. And then we do have the homie Raiden Blade in the building. Shout out to
Raiden,
Raiden Blade.
what's
Thank you,
up?
my brother, for being here. Thank you for that $2 super chat. It says, hey, C-Money and Lady D. C-Money,
Hi.
are you getting younger, bro? Oh, shit.
That's right. He's got that Benjamin Button situation going on, huh?
No, he
That's why I like
now
to
he
hear.
found Hair Club for Men.
That's why I like to listen. My hair, it's getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, see, you know there is a female version of mansplaining, right?
Is there?
Mm-hmm. It's called She-Laborating.
Mm.
That's way too much energy right there. She-Laborating? That sounds.
She-Laborating as in elaborating.
A lot of
You're gonna have to
syllables.
even go further.
Got
It's
it.
got to flow.
Sounds like a lot, broke boy. I don't know what the hell that is. It don't sound right, but that's fine. Snooky, what's good, homie? I see you.
Snooki,
Okay,
what's up?
let's get crack-a-lacking.
Let's
here.
go.
All right. So
I haven't been on
yesterday,
since I haven't been on since the show, since all the shows.
you have it.
No, you booted me off. You booted me off the Tuesday show. Remember, because you knew to want to talk.
Yeah, because we had
Listen, we were having a romantic stream.
it was a romantic. Stream.
Whoa.
That's how we get down. You know
Not
what I'm
like
saying?
that. Not like that,
Not
Jay.
just like that. Let your
Did not know I was on the
imagination
right-
run wild.
Right programming.
All right. Listen. Yesterday
Hey,
we had a show.
I got to touch things, but still, like you guys, I can't talk about it either because you're on YouTube.
You got to what the what?
Don't.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not going to say it again.
Don't think any harder on it.
Okay, I'm gonna let that be. No, thank you, broke boy. Appreciate you. All right. So yesterday, we did a emergency podcast, a breaking news podcast, where I gotta tell you, it was a very emotionally charged episode. But it was a show that I needed to do to get my feelings out and let myself hear what I was saying and like start moving through how I was handling it. Okay. Now the show was about the fact that presumably, and I mean, we have some pretty hard concrete evidence at this point, right?
Yes,
From,
yes, absolutely.
of someone that we know from a Compulsion Games. We met her, we spoke to her, we sat next to her, we interviewed her, and now she's looking for work. So sadly, we know that studios like Compulsion Games, studios like Ninja Theory, studios like Double Fine, even though Double Fine there's a little bit of a ray of hope, maybe. But we know there's some dark, sad stuff happening over at Xbox. And yesterday was really about kind of just talking about that and kind of getting, like just being able to kind of understand why this is happening. What does it mean for Xbox's future direction? The Xbox reset, right, that they are talking about is pretty clear that it's a very real thing. And now, we understand the direction that they're going. But, although we did talk about it yesterday, I do want, because I did see, the homie JShock, I know Broke Boy You're gonna have some feelings on it, and I do want to hear, Josh, what you guys think of just about that part, and then we're gonna talk about, some of the more recent news, because on top of that, there were some rumors that Xbox was going to walk back exclusivity, even though they just announced exclusivity.
Oh, I saw that too.
And then, the new CSO had to come out and squash that.
Yeah.
But we are going to add a little wrinkle to it that I feel like no one either heard or chose not to hear. Either way, we're going to bring that up. But before we get to that second part, I want to get to the first part. I want to talk about, these potential closers, closing that is happening across, Microsoft. We're hearing a lot of different names. It's not just these three. We're hearing other names like Arcane Leon that, is making Blade. There's a lot of stuff out there. JShock, just because of so much of what I was reading of yours, just like, what is your hot take? I know a lot of people are trying to say, you're playing the DEI card and saying that these studios deserve to be gone, which I think that's what led to the show happening.
Yeah,
because it infuriated me that these people came out here to talk about these studios and games as if they weren't great experiences that were well done, well made, and important games that told great stories. Like, it really annoyed me
As
to
if
hear
they
people just
brought it
like
upon themselves somehow
Yeah,
when these
Xbox
were
did.
phenomenal.
Xbox did that. Xbox
No.
hired them so that they can make the games that they wanted to make, the art that they wanted to make, not to go try to make the next Call of Duty or the next Blockbuster, right? So this was Xbox who put them in that position, and this is what happened. So yeah, Jay, tell us.
I think my biggest thing was I was trying to stay like out of the conversation, and then I saw Khalif Adams tweet something, and basically that like he was just tired of everybody like using the DEI excuse for like everything. And I thought of South of Midnight especially because I saw that was the one I was trying to like stay out of, because like I thought that was a beautiful game and it was a great video game. I don't think it should matter who the protagonist is. I don't care who the lead character is in a video game. Not everybody has to look like me. Okay. It like there should be other people that are represented. It's not that big of a deal. And my biggest issue is that it just feels like every single time you see a black female, or I think they were using in the argument with me, like the girl from Star Wars Outlaws, like if it's a girl, oh no, or like a non-white male, like it just feels like people like lose their minds every time. Like we saw it with that new God of War last week. Okay. It can't be every time. Like it just can't be. And my point is that if it's a good game, it's a good game and you should want to play it. And that is what South of Midnight was. Now I understand it's not going to be for everybody. I don't think it's a niche to have a minority lead character. Okay. That's not a niche. A niche is like puzzlers, like, or something like that. Like I just like, and then people started responding. I basically said to Khalif, like, dude, it's taken every ounce of restraint not to get in arguments over this because of just how stupid some of the people are that are like trying to like make these asinine points. And then right on cue, because obviously people go looking through his tweets for things to say, because he's obviously a very vocal person in advocate for representation in video games, and that's fine. But I think it's just an excuse for people to like hide behind their blatant racism. Like, what do you like? So there's someone in particular respond to me saying, I just want to play games where people look like me. And I'm like, well, that's like, so you want unless if a video game isn't a white man, you just won't play it. And that's just weird to me. I can't relate to that. Like, so you're not playing any Transformers games, apparently. I don't understand. And I'm sure if it's like Stellar Blade, I guess it's a different thing. You know, if it's like some hot Asian chick, it's
Well,
okay,
because
but
then they can
they can goon.
they can goon over it.
I just don't understand, and I'm just so tired of this narrative. Like there's so many good video games out there that like are just a little different. And this was on Game Pass, like, and that is something that works against them, and something that does make it hard for Xbox is like, I don't know how I don't know how that money gets divvied up and everything. But like people had the chance to try it for nothing and still chose not to over who was on the picture on front of the box. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. That game was gorgeous. Like, it was such a unique video game. And I loved like the Southern roots and like all of the, I don't know if
Man.
allegories.
Beginning to end. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was just, I love the way they tied it all together. And at no point in time did I ever think about the fact that I was playing as a black female character. I didn't care. It doesn't matter. It was a good story, a fun game, and a very different game. And it just sucks that people can't just look at video games like that, you know? And that was the whole point I was trying to make, basically.
Where would the gaming industry be if everyone thought the same way? And does this only apply to video games, or is this also about movies, the place where you work, when you go outside? Like, how deep does this go when you're putting this out on social media, you know?
Yeah, it's weird.
Missing out on South of Midnight, and I'm using the words missing out specifically because that's what it is. You're missing out if you chose to not play it because of those reasons, because it is such an ambitious game. The score, babe, the music, man, that the feeling that you get, because
100%.
the way that they incorporate the characters with the melody, the lyrics, it flows. And South of Midnight makes you feel something. Also, they really did their research to really portray the South in a way that it really represents the South.
And I grew up down south. My dad was in the Marines. I was born in North Carolina. I lived in Tennessee. You know, we lived in Hawaii, which I know isn't the South, but you know, I lived in. My dad ended up in Jacksonville, Florida, until he passed. So like, I lived down there for 2 years. So I know a lot about the South. So like, it was a really cool game, especially for people that have experienced the South. You know, like people in the South are very passionate about being from the South. Like that's a very big thing for them. So I just can't relate to like there's these people, it's every single game. All right, God of War is the latest one, right? And then it'll be, oh, there's a Star Wars game with a girl. You have to play as a girl. Oh my god, not that.
And
like,
why is the girl cute?
Yeah. Why can't I jerk off to her while I'm playing? You know, like it's just wild.
The thing is, it's such a like singular thing. People are like, oh, it's this, it's that, and the other. But when The Witcher 4 comes out, guess what? All those things are going to disappear, and they're going to be fine playing that game, which is a female lead, because it's a game that they're like already predetermined they're going to play. I mean, who's not going to play that game who loved the other Witcher games? Like, it's, yeah. I just think that overall the numbers are really the reasons that the studios are getting shut down. You look at all the industry, the whole industry is changing. Like, it's been a dramatic thing. When I was at GDCs, a lot of the talks that they did were about how much things have changed, how many people are getting laid off across the board. I'm always talking about VR, and Meta being the leader in the VR space, they slashed all these studios, and they're continuing to close studios, but it's not because of DEI and this and the other. It's numbers. It's the way that the industry works, and it's people are just quick to jump on things like that and be like, this is why, it's because they deserved it, yada yada. And it's just, you know, it's reasons to get upset or get other people upset about things, I feel like, most of the time.
Yeah.
And I understand that South of Midnight, first of all, it's a brand new game, it's a brand new franchise. It was always going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for them. And not everybody is into that style of gameplay, because it did have some puzzles and some platforming on top of the combat. But like, I understand that was possibly an issue for some people, but I don't know, man. I just feel like it was right there. It was on Game Pass. You know, all you had to do was just try it, and I thought people would like it, but
So,
you know,
so that's the frustrating part for me with this entire situation, because you know, and again, it's clear we're in a new world for Xbox. Okay, this is just if we thought that having it's funny because I remember people saying, "Oh, when Asha comes, it's gonna take so long to see a difference." Bro, what?
Yeah.
The world is shattering around her right now. Like she's like Kong going through buildings. You know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't care. She's just doing what she has to do to make what she's here to do happen. And I'm not faulting her for what she's doing because I understand she has a job to do. But that doesn't mean I can't be in my feels about what's happening. And the reality is that
you can understand it and still not like it.
exactly. So my biggest thing, and one of the things on this channel that I have championed for so long from Xbox, which if everything goes through the way the so-called I'm saying rumors, but the reality is again, we've already seen with our own eyes, real life people who we know are looking for a job. Okay. So, which means that what has happened has already taken place. The rumors were Compulsion found out last week. Magically, we have a Compulsion employee saying, "Hey, I no longer have a job. Can somebody hire me?" Right. So that means that put two and two together. And if that's right, then everything else is also happening. Right. So let's just, and also Double Fine, right? They put out a little tweet, nothing crazy, but it's a smiley face with like, you know, that water drop,
Yeah,
like that
sweat.
stress,
Mhm,
like that
stress.
sweat. But for me, I took that as they survived. I took that as they figured out how to stay alive, which is I'm so happy for that. But it's clear Compulsion didn't survive that, or at least in the way they were. Maybe they still exist in a much smaller format. Maybe they're going to be a support group. I don't know. And then the same thing for Ninja Theory, right? My problem, the thing that I championed for Xbox for so long here that I absolutely loved was the fact that when Phil Spencer went ahead and bought all of these studios, from Phil to Matt Booty, there was a whole plan in place where these purchases, this South of Midnights, the Hellblades, the Keepers, they were never, ever, ever meant to be big sellers or even, you know, good enough sellers. They knew that releasing these games was for the love of the game.
Yes.
They knew that it was for the industry to keep alive with new fresh ideas coming out and different experiences that are not just the same old, you know, bro shooter, right? Like that's what the industry was for so long, right? And then slowly it kind of opened up. But it's like Xbox, the way that they even framed it, Matt Booty came out, he told us the structure. He told us that the Call of Duties, the Minecrafts, all those things, those were the big producers. Those were the things that were bringing in all the money and allowing for the lower tier, those smaller games to exist, because those were the art projects. Those were the games that were, again, for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But
it's clear that is now gone.
to your point is, you know, PlayStation has had this crown where, you know, because of their amazing cinematics and the heartfelt stories. And I feel like Xbox was breaking through that. A game like Hellblade, South of Midnight, right? And then on the Nintendo side, right, they were getting to the point where they have games to kind of combat those areas and still remain Xbox. A game like Kilm, right, which we weren't sure that, you know, we will click with, and
We love it.
freaking level 50, right, maxed out, and it's so fun. And you look at that and you're like, oh, shoot, I can see this on a Nintendo console, right? And to go ahead and fill out that library and to go ahead and have that diversity of games, that's everything a platform can dream about, right? Especially when we're at a point in the industry where a lot is falling around you. So this is something that should be celebrated, and we're seeing it kind of getting ripped apart. All of Phil's work just getting destroyed. It's sad.
I have a feeling that part of the reason that's happening is this last Call of Duty did not
Black Ops
do
7.
well enough to lift the
do that.
tides. You know what I mean?
To give that umbrella to
Yeah.
cover for that stuff.
And it's not for nothing, like it would be nice. I just think Asha's coming in, and I think none of this really should be a big surprise. The last time that I was on with you, we went over her 5-point doom and gloom letter, it was very clear that she said, we have to make difficult decisions, but it is for the betterment of the future of the brand. And I hope they can find a way to just let these studios go off and do their own thing. I'm sure from a tax perspective, whatever, that is probably better for them to close the studio, as terrible as that is to say, but I hope they can figure out a way to spin it out.
Well, I'm curious about Ninja Theory in particular because they just announced Senua last week at the show. So it's how is it that was it a surprise to them, and do they have someone lined up to buy the studio, or is that game just not going to happen? That's such a bizarre
that one is
thing
weird
to me. I was like, how did they just announce it? I literally watched the showcase from the beginning to the end today for the first time, and I was just watching that trailer. I watched it twice, and I was just like, this looks good. And what?
Great.
What? This is potentially never going to come out. I have a feeling someone will pick it up, or there's something already lined up.
So
because I don't see why.
I saw somebody say that putting that trailer in there was a way for Ninja Theory to market their next game when it was time to go look for a suitor. You know what I'm saying?
I saw
it's
that.
look at the hype, look at how people were excited about this, scoop us up, and we'll get it. And we kind of I was telling the Doodle where it's I think Xbox owns the Hellblade name, and they let them keep Senua, and that's why this game has no tie to the Hellblade name. There's no Hellblade in the title.
Well, the gameplay looks different too, though, right? It's more of an actual action game. Yeah.
So it's more action oriented. Yeah. But still, if this is part of a franchise, you would still include it. You know what I'm saying? You would
and Hellblade is the name. Yeah, for sure.
Hellblade
you hear
Hellblade,
and it's like Hellblade. What's that? Senua
and I
is
think
the subtitle. Yeah.
100%, and I think that's why there is no Hellblade in the title, and it's just Senua.
And we were wondering, because it's such a quick turnaround. Obviously, we know the foundation is there because of Hellblade 2. It's a masterpiece. But we were wondering, how was this and not the closer for the show? We were not expecting that. What an exciting moment. Why did they not close the show with that? And then we kind of rationalized the idea that obviously they had the exclusive games as bookmarks, right? Just to start the show and end the show with those, and then everything in between. It's okay, well, you started on a high, you ended on a high. So you kind of let that slide, but it should have been closer to the end.
Right before Clockwork.
Understand why they did that. Exactly. It was such an impactful moment, and it was kind of brushed off in the middle.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a different take on that one. I have never been interested in those games. I have always thought they looked amazing, but even though they're on Game Pass, haven't played any of them. I think they're incredible tech, and I almost wish that they let that studio do something different. Because I feel like that one is the one that's weird to me. Because even though I'm not a huge fan of because I've watched people play it on stream, and it just wasn't for me. I just feel like they could have gotten more out of that studio. That's a talented studio. And it's weird to just close them.
Well,
I agree.
Ninja
I
Theory
agree
does a lot of
100%.
mocap stuff too. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
they could have been a good
That
support
as well.
studio.
But this is the thing, Jay. The problem is that Hellblade 1 and 2, that is what Ninja Theory wanted to make.
That's fair.
They did not want to make the action only game anymore because they want to tell those stories. And if you didn't play it, but if you did play it, you would know that the way that they bring the world of Psychosis to you is remarkable. Like there's no other way. Like it's just like
I believe it. I've watched people play it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's putting it in your ear, like you're the one playing it, engaging in it. It's very different, and I think that this was their way to try to get Xbox to be like, look, we're doing it, guys.
Yeah.
See, look, we're gonna focus on the combat, guys. Like we'll get more people to play our
Senua,
game.
yes, I think
combat.
that was the way of kind of giving people what they wanted. But you know, to your point, Jay, yes, that game is not for everyone, but like it was for me personally, it was for me. And
100%.
once you zone out, like you mentioned before, Josh, with the headset, like the sound, it's just incredible, and you get kind of just lost in that world. So it was. I do have to agree. We did see it. We were like, okay, well, this is more focused on the combat, which is a lot of that was some of the complaining that was taking place.
Even though
out
the
there.
combat was amazing in the context of that game, it felt so visceral and so well done. It's crazy that people go so hard on the combat for Hellblade. I don't understand it. Like I play a lot of video games. The combat was amazing in there, but it's just not a combat focused game.
Yeah.
You're in the story, the moments happen, and you are in survival mode, and you can see just how like they even put so much thought. Like there's no moves in the game that she couldn't like this small bodied woman.
The combat is
Like,
so
she
dense,
really
like you
swung the sword.
feel almost like her force. You feel that power, the pain, that she's putting into it. You also kind of the way that they did this, you feel that pain when she gets hit, right? Like it's very cinematic, it's very descriptive just in the movement and the sound. But I have to say the combat could not have been, crazy, because you still have to stay true to what the game is. You can't have that stark contrast and expect people to be okay with that too. So if the main focus is the story and it's highlighted in a certain way, the combat has also, it needs to go hand in hand with that as well.
Yeah,
so
like Hellblade 2 was more of an experience than it was. I mean, yes, it was a game, but it felt more of an experience than a game. That was just the way it was built.
Yeah, ironically, Wario64 just tweeted something. Microsoft already planned to shut down or split with Ninja Theory when Senua was announced. The thinking was the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investors interested in the studio.
I just said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm letting you know that he just
Thank
tweeted
you,
that from gamefile.news.
That's crazy.
That's why they went into the more action oriented, like, hey, and I'm telling you, Xbox is keeping Hellblade.
The name.
They're
yes.
keeping the IP of Hellblade, and they're letting them keep the character Senua. So just in case they ever want to go back to a Hellblade type game, they can. That's why they're dropping the name. That's crazy. Thank you for pointing that out. But yeah, that's wild. Let me get real quick. The homie Forza Legend.
Forza was
also
good.
At Summer Games. Well, he was at the Xbox showcase. Shout out to our homie.
And he was on our show last night.
He was on our show last night, dropping through. Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you for that Twitter super chat. Says, shout out to my favorite.
Let's go.
Podcast. Salute.
Homie.
Appreciate you, my
Thank
brother.
you so much.
Thank you so much, man, for being here. Also, real quick, let me get Riley Killer in the building. Riley Killer, awesome community member, but also 1/4 of the panel of our brand new On Point Nerd Nights Anime After Dark. That's right. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. will be our second episode of our brand new show. And Riley Killer is a panel member alongside our son, Mad Dot, and Stevie Ray and Amber, the duo that makes up Dip Down Anime. Fantastic channel, fantastic people. Make sure you're there tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for their second episode. It's going to be a fun one.
It is.
So make sure you're there. But he says, so what I've been saying, so it's what I've been saying. Call of Duty messed up, but they have no consequences. Fun fact, Ryan Killer, there was a consequence. The studio head of Treyarch, gone with the wind.
Ooh.
So there was in fact a consequence.
So I think it's important. So they did go ahead and get messy, creative, however you want to call it, with Black Ops 7. And that kind of backfired, right? Because it wasn't executed well. Had they done that well, then maybe. But I think that what Black Ops 7 did was it highlighted that these big games can also have a bad game out in comparison, right? Because the idea is to continue to at least maintain, if not level up. So
Xbox is not having that. That's not allowed anymore.
Exactly. So I think that with the success of Black Ops 6, they figure to continue on that trajectory, and that didn't happen. And it became a lot more obvious, more apparent, the fact that the smaller games are weighing down the bigger ones. And that's part of the decision making, I suppose. But I think Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was definitely something that affected, and it's making,
like Jay said,
it's making way.
Problem. So I mean, Josh, I know you've interjected. I know you've given your thoughts a lot of what was being said, but just like from your perspective, seeing this situation take place where it's pretty clear, Xbox is refocusing, right? Asha is refocusing Xbox to be a quote unquote hit factory, right? Mm-hmm. They want only
back to the roots,
the biggest and the baddest, no more of this, some of these smaller entities and these art house games. They're saying that's not our problem. It's not our job to keep the art alive. It's our job to produce and make money and go crazy. But that also means they're closing studios, they're getting rid of studios that a lot of us love. When you see all this happening, how do you feel about it? What do you think about it? Do you think it's smart? Do you think, what do you think about all this craziness that's happening right now?
Ultimately, to me, it mirrors exactly what happened with Meta, like in the late fall when they announced all the cuts they were going to do. And it's not the only, like I was saying before, the whole industry is in a sort of a shift. And I feel like this year is a year of largely, I mean, it's a big picture thing, but like the RAM shortages, the hiked prices of systems, the uncertainty of everything. And then all of it is also landing in the same year as Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out and being a console exclusive. So there's like a promise of systems being sold just for that game alone, even at the high prices that it's going to be at. And I just think that it's like the switch in leadership also. I think it's just all kind of big picture. It's trimming the fat in a way. Like it's in the same way that, like, I don't know if a lot of the followers of this channel, but if people have seen what happened with Meta with the Quest, they cut all these huge studios that made these huge games, like the Batman game that came out for Quest 3, which is an exclusive to Quest 3. It's an Arkham game, and it's like they cut Camouflage Studios, which is like that was the biggest IP they had.
They closed them or just got rid of them.
Camouflage is gone. Yeah, I believe it's gone. Maybe they still I think maybe they still exist.
I was
but for
Kickstarter for Camouflage, they made that. What was it? Republic? Was that Republic?
Maybe they didn't cut the company entirely, but they cut the production of the second game, and it's no longer even like in the plans whatsoever. But it was largely because of just this. They were trying to do everything all at once, and it reminds me very much of the Xbox situation in the way that you guys have been talking about having games that are the art house games, the smaller things, and having the bigger stuff kind of carry all those smaller titles. But in the case of Quest, it was largely because they had also these all these free games and all these things that are just stuff that people didn't really want to, they weren't playing. So in the same sense, all these little things that people aren't playing as much. I mean, I haven't actually played Senua's Saga 1 and 2 either. It's in my backlog. I plan to play in VR, honestly, because I've heard how immersive and cool it is. But it's still in my backlog, you know. So it's one of those things too. Even going to Summer Game Fest, seeing specific games get such intense amount of attention, it takes me back to the many years ago when people played video games. It was so much more of an event when a game came out. Now it's just like the market is so saturated. Jeff Keighley was talking about it at the beginning of the Summer Game Fest actual show. He was talking about how there's like 9,000 games that came out on Steam last year. You know, it's like 9,000 games, you know, and many of them are pixel art little projects, but not many of those are getting the kind of attention that things like Tomb Raider are going to get, or, you know, Gears of War, or, you know, like these big titles. And so it's a shift in leadership with Xbox that I think, this is my exterior perspective, but like it seems logical in terms of maintaining themselves within a struggling, I wouldn't say struggling industry, in a changing industry, you know, because it is shifting. And the way that systems are so expensive now, it's becoming almost like more of a spectator sport for a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford to buy a $650 Xbox. Like, it just straight up can't. And the young generation, they're used to having free games that they can play. I mean, Fortnite is free. So, you know, all the skins and additional things, it's a little different. I feel like we're the older school gamers where we're used to like things being as they were, and it's just not quite the same. So I don't know. They're changing with the times in a way, and it's brutal and it's painful, but I think the good stuff will still come to the surface, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it is important to kind of highlight, just from my perspective, and I said this yesterday, but just to kind of reiterate, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. I think, realistically speaking, this is the responsible move for Asha to do. I think Asha and Phil Spencer were in the same exact situation. I think Satya came knocking and said, I need my money. How are you going to make that happen? The difference was Phil said, we're going to keep these studios, but we're going to put their games everywhere. And hopefully that'll make us the money that we need. And that way no one loses anything. But that did not work, because turns out these games that are artsy, they don't sell wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter no matter how many consoles you put them on. It's apparently no one cares for these games.
Well, I also feel like it was a matter of a choice too, because the price of Game Pass Ultimate going up to $30 sent shockwaves through the industry. People are like, "What? How much? $30? Like, what are you talking about?" And I haven't seen all the little numbers that they've talked about. They haven't talked about specifics, but that was a massive change. Like, that going from $20 to $30 is nuts. Like, that's absurd. 50% increase in whatever it was. They gave everybody like a month to be like, surprise, it's going to be $30 now. So that's the thing that in my mind I'm just looking at.
It was a day or two, not a month.
Was it really? Yeah. See, that's insane. And that's like, in a scale, I'm like, okay, so we lose a bunch of artsy studios when they know that a lot of people aren't even playing those games that are on Game Pass. And then we lower the price. Like, do we keep the price $30 and have a bunch of bloated stuff that people aren't playing? Or do we have more specific titles that we know people will play and charge less? So to me, it's like, okay, if you're talking numbers, that kind of makes sense. You know, as much as it sucks to lose studios and to have closures, reverting back to a time when it's like these big tentpole games are the things people are going to play. You know, it's just, that's the reality. You know, like, people want to play Tomb Raider. People want to play Gears of War. People want to play, and granted, there aren't enough new IPs coming out, but the ones that do tend to be like things that kind of come and go. Sadly, you know, people are shown they don't really want new IPs. That's the problem. Yeah, which it's like that in the film industry as well. It's like the film industry, they're not making any risks because people just want to see the same characters come back, and it's nice to see small studios or small movies like Obsession come out recently that are tiny little movies beating Steven Spielberg movies. And in that same sense, I think that we will have games that are actually really great bubble to the surface when they're actually really innovative and really good. Like, because so much stuff is just a rehash or a copy of something else,
Yeah, I agree with that. One of the
Obsession was so good, by the way.
Obsession was crazy.
It was good. I saw it yesterday.
I went and saw Backrooms.
I've got to see
how
that
was
stuff.
Backrooms?
That was I felt the same way with that one as I did Iron Lung when I went and saw that with my son. I got out of the movie. I'm still thinking I liked it, but I'm still not quite sure what I saw.
Mm.
I get that.
Well, I went to see Masters of the Universe, and I need everybody to see it so I can get another one.
Because I love
Oh,
it.
we're planning to. Yes.
Still gonna go
I heard
see
it's good.
We told you
It's
we would.
so fun.
I got the popcorn bucket. I got all the stuff. I got the Regal Unlimited thing for the free movies a month or whatever. So I still ended up spending about like $120 after all the gear.
But what we're running into is not just exclusive to gaming. Like Masters of the Universe is running into it too, because in the initial trailer they show Adam sitting at a desk and his name tag says he/him, and like there are actual people. They're like, I'm not going to see the movie now. And it's like, dude, come on, man. And if you actually see the movie, they kind of make fun of it, like it's part of the gag. And I don't know, man. I grew up a massive Masters of the Universe fan in the 80s. And like that was, I almost cried at the end. I was so happy. Like that was just a pure joy. Like the laughing scene at the end is pure, like it was straight out of the cartoon, man. It was a cartoon movie. I loved it. I'm not usually
for sure.
I'm not usually into like Idris Elba's Man at Arms. Obviously, is a little bit of a switch, but he's great. I don't care anymore. Like I stopped caring. Like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna cast who they're gonna cast. The casting was great. Alison Brie as Evelyn was amazing. All of her eye rolls, and you don't even know it's Jared Leto as Skeletor. It's hilarious.
Well, I didn't even realize. It took a minute until I finally saw the ending credits. I didn't realize who Tila was.
Yeah,
Camila Mendes from Archie or whatever that CW show was.
Listen, we're gonna go and we're gonna watch this movie so we can have a conversation with JShock.
Absolutely.
Right.
By
listen, I got
sure.
I got
Sometime
3
later
Skeletors
this
on
week,
my
for sure.
desk right here,
Hmm.
and
That's dope.
I got this guy right here from Funko Fusion. So, yeah, I'm like one of my all-time favorites.
That's
I
dope.
got all three. I got all three of the popcorn buckets.
I just got the
Yeah.
throne one, but I didn't use it for popcorn.
I didn't either.
Yeah, we're pretty big on the popcorn buckets too. I tend
You know
to
what?
get the
In
ones
like
I
5 years, these are gonna be like Beanie Babies. Okay, like we're gonna have like 70,000 popcorn buckets around our house, and we're gonna be like, what the hell were we doing? Why? Like, I don't even like
What were we
popcorn
thinking?
Why do we
anymore.
have them? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
So
Broke boy, let me know, man. What did you, when you started seeing all of this go down? I know you're out in those Twitter streets. Okay, Broke boy, he doesn't rest. Okay, he will not let injustice take place. He sees slander, he goes in. Oh, we got a guest. That's a cute dog.
That's Lola.
All right,
Aw.
Lola has entered.
Hi,
the
Lola.
battle.
My pooch disappeared. I was gonna...
Broke boy. What are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts about what's going on with
Well,
all
you
these
guys
things?
kind of like I say, you and Doodle both know my feelings on South of Midnight. It was number. You can say I got to thinking when they started talking. Yes, I think my top 3 last year were Expedition 33, Terminator 2, No Fate, and South of Midnight was number 3. But after all the news came out, I got to thinking again. I was like, you know what? T2 I said was great. I loved it. And that was where I left it. South of Midnight I'm still talking about every day almost. So I think that one actually goes to number 2 now. And had Expedition 33 not come out, it definitely would have been number 1.
Yeah.
But I've got the limited edition soundtrack, vinyls, and all the stuff for it. But yeah.
So did you expect this? Did you expect it? Did you think it was
when they saw the rumors? I'm like, like I say, I'm like everybody else. It didn't do what they hoped it would do. I mean, it was a good game, but it's one of those, as they were saying, it was prejudged well before it came out what it was going to be. So everybody pretty much stayed away from it who was going to. But I got it on Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch. So like I said, Xbox when I finished, I think I might actually start it on PlayStation just to kind of go back to it. But and then there's now with Double Fine, we're still not quite sure where they are yet.
I think they're safe, man. I think they're safe.
I tried Keeper and Kiln. I really wasn't into those, but I got to think. It's one of those when you read it, you get to thinking back about what the first games that you remember actually playing and everything. I'm a child of the old school. I was Atari 2600 and Television, ColecoVision, N64 and stuff like that. My first PC gaming experience was Full Throttle from Double Fine.
Yeah,
I probably played that game 6 or 7 times. But you say, Compulsion, like I say, is with them. Like I say, it's I don't like it. I'd never like it when they close studios. Like I said, but again, I understand it. But I don't. It's just I don't know what else to say anymore. I hope if they are closing down, which it sounds like you kind of is a thing. I hope they find another home somewhere. Matter of fact, I don't care where they find a home. Just give me more. My only worry.
This is the reality. This is the reality, and this is the sad reality for these people. Even Ninja Theory, even if they do get to sell this game and get somebody to get on board with it, okay. The sad reality is that before Xbox bought these people, they were knocking on doors, like death's door, right? Like they were already close to being gone. It was everyday hustle to try to get the next little job here and there. Ninja Theory, for God's sakes, was doing combat for Disney Infinity 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they were literally doing any odd and end job to go ahead and stay afloat. And this was the raft. You know what I'm saying? Like this was that, when they say that thing where like God sends you help? This was it. But turns out it wasn't forever help. It was just long enough help.
That's where you go ahead and you start thinking about, okay, so what's the alternative? Had this not happened, if Xbox or Phil had not gone in and saved the day, right? They would not have been able to maybe make the games that they've made for Xbox, right? And in that, if they can't succeed, like I said yesterday, under that umbrella, then I think there's a lot to be said to that, because like, what do you do moving forward? Even if you went on your own, you already know that with that capacity, the game still didn't make enough. It's just the industry as a whole. And to Josh's point earlier when he mentioned about the smaller IP, people wanting things that they know, they do want things that they know until you don't do it in the way that they want it, and then they all start freaking out. And that's that sensitivity, that's that problem exactly that's there. But then you start thinking of, what does this mean to Game Pass, right? Because the whole point is to feed that beast. Are we going back to relying on these third-party deals to go ahead and fill in the beast that Game Pass is? Because now we're focusing on those big IPs. And what do people do when these big IPs come out? They subscribe to Game Pass to not pay full price, right? And then they leave. So where are we going to fix that problem? Is Game Pass going to be affected in a way that it won't be there anymore? Are we going to live under the stress of those third-party deals? What is going to take place here? So this is a rabbit hole.
Well, this is the thing, Doodle. You literally nailed exactly what I started thinking to myself. I literally was thinking, look at Xbox finding a way to take games out of my Game Pass without removing them from my game.
Well, we went up to
without saying, hey guys, we're not going to put these games in Game Pass. No.
We went up to $30,
so you don't get the games.
Exactly. It's over. We went up to $30. The fix to bring it back down was to take out Call of Duty. If the studios are closed, those games are not going in there.
And the price is not lowering.
Now, there's another.
The price is not lowering
exactly
after they close these studios, which means the money that we're spending on Game Pass is not being used to fund these studios.
It's just
as
clean
if
money for
how we
them
were
now.
thinking.
Exactly. This only benefits them, not us as gamers, as the consumers. Even if you had not gotten to these games, the games were still there. That if one day you were like, you know what, I'm going to try South of Midnight, then you go ahead and do that. But now, you know, there's not going to be another one if they shut down the studio. But another problem, yes, the people that went ahead and they get the cheaper deals, and obviously we do month to month with Game Pass, and we pay just the $30 at the time, now $22.99. But there are people, I believe you do this, broke boy, you stack, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they have
I'm
1
paid
year,
through May
2 years,
2028.
sometimes up to 3 years, right? And they have Game Pass prepaid for. They were affected by them taking out Call of Duty. Now that game that was supposed to be in there for the next 3 years, it won't be. So
Well, I
why
personally
are
wasn't
we
thinking about Call of Duty.
going ahead and having Game Pass being sold at such a cheap price, which everybody tends to go to? Instead, shut that down. If you're looking for more money, why don't we close that road and make sure that people subscribe to Game Pass through Xbox, and they go ahead and they get their clean money? Like, why are there alternatives if you are in a situation?
That's the crazy thing with subscription services. They all have those things we agree to. They can take away anything that they want, including, you know, stuff that we feel like we own. It's a strange world we live in now where, you know, even the games that we pay and we have the hard copies of, technically we don't own them anymore, which is crazy, and why PlayStation 2 games that you can actually buy and own are selling on eBay for like $200 because now you can't own your games. It's this like sort of creepy version of reality. It's very dystopian where, you know, you pay for months ahead for Call of Duty, like you were talking about, not have access to it now because they just decided, sorry, you can't.
I think that was definitely something that when they bought Activision, though, like I don't think they realized how much Game Pass would dip into their revenue for Call of Duty. Because, like, I mean, I know we are not necessarily the common denominator with gamers. There are gamers that buy 3 video games a year. They buy their Call of Duty every year. They buy their, I don't know, their FIFA or their NBA 2K. And that's it. You know what I mean? And, you know, now all of a sudden, wait, I already have Game Pass and now I don't have to buy Call of Duty either. So I don't know.
I want to address something real quick. I can say I don't really like pointing people out, but Dragonfly Jones comes into an argument that I see a lot of. He says Game Pass still costs more than before the $30 increase. True, but everybody seems to forget that added $20 of Ubisoft Classics and Fortnite Crew that is still in there. Yes, it's still higher than it was, but those benefits were not in that program when they did it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about. I don't care about it going back down to what it was. My Netflix is not what it was, right?
And it never will be.
My Amazon, my Paramount. I just got a freaking thing from Paramount. Oh, the prices are going up. Like, what? I don't even know what I watch on Paramount. Like, hot tip,
guys, for everybody.
Just in case.
Seriously, hot tip for all the streaming services. I do it every year. You can sign up Black Friday deals for like HBO and Hulu and Disney. I have been paying like $4 a month for like 3 years for all of those, like for each one.
So you stack?
What?
You just no, you don't stack. You just have to change your email every year and sign up with a new email. It's, I mean, they'll hate me for saying it, but it's true. You could just Black Friday, hot tip, do it this Black Friday. I switched. I was paying $10 a month for HBO, and now I just do like the Black Friday deal, and then I just do it from a different email once it comes around the next year. And who knows, they'll change them here and there.
Hulu Black Friday deal, I think, is like $12 for a year.
Mine's $4. $4 a month.
I just got AMC Plus again last couple weeks ago. They sent me an offer $30 for the year. I'm like, okay.
I'll take it.
Wow.
They do a lot of retro horror shows, and I like those.
Those deals obviously don't work for, Game Pass, different story, but for viewing stuff, it's basically like you're still paying. You're paying by watching commercials. Like you are watching the commercials, you're buying products.
Well, and and kind of like what just drew a brain fart. CMoney was saying something a second ago. What was it?
About how they're not going to give us less price.
Oh yeah, like I said, and Doodle mentioned about people stacking. Yeah, I'm stacked through May of 2028, based on the promise of day ones on the service. And I know I'm not the only one. If they ever remove day ones from the service, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shit.
That'd be a big deal.
Yeah, it would. The only way that would work is if they can magically give you every third party day one game that you would ever want. You know what I'm saying? Like if every month you just got the biggest AAA third party games in the Game Pass, that's the only way it would justify, and you would have to want those games. That's the only way it would justify.
Yeah.
It cannot exist, man.
Unless they're going to refund me all that money.
They're not. They're not, because it's in the terms that you agreed to.
Like Josh said, yeah.
That they can put anything they want in there. You don't own any of it, and it doesn't matter the emotional state you were in when you subscribed for 2 years. They don't give the
cards.
What that is.
It's like wrestling matches. Cards subject to change.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is they like put so much good stuff in Game Pass and they made it so great, and it was like over promising, and now they're realizing that that this is tough, because it is changing the way that gamers play, and they were counting on more people coming over and subscribing to Game Pass. I think if they got that target number they were hoping for, for like this massive, huge library of people subscribed to Game Pass paying the monthly fee, it's a different story, but they didn't get that, and now they have to adjust. And it's in customer service, it is never easy to take something away that a customer is used to. It's just never going to go well. So,
yeah.
So I'm going to bring this.
You would lose a lot, bro. That's just the reality. Like, we wouldn't have so many subscribers. We have like 3 subscriptions of Game Pass Ultimate here. We definitely wouldn't have 3 if they started changing things in any meaningful way. And if they went too far, we just wouldn't have it, or we'll do the same thing everybody else does.
Yeah.
Something goes into the subscription service that I like. If it's cheaper than buying the game, I'll subscribe for that month and then keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes sense. That's what I do with things like Apple. Like, Apple doesn't have those deals, Apple TV. And I'm like, I want to watch a specific show. You sign up for the month that you watch it, get a free, get the cheap deal for a minute. But it's just kind of the way of the world now when it comes to getting our content, Yeah,
I'm going to bring this up real quick. I sent CMoney the message earlier. The game Lunar Abyss I sent you?
Yeah, Lunar Abyss.
Yeah, because it came out May 21st on Game Pass. They announced today they laid off every dev that made the game.
Wow.
And you'd be surprised just seeing all these people. See, Game Pass sucks. It kills studios. Like, the game's been out 4 freaking months or 4 freaking weeks. How can Game Pass have killed it that quick?
No, it's not real. That Game Pass, they got money for being in Game Pass. That was probably the only money they got for that game. And understand that game's not like, people keep trying to treat it like Xbox is. They want to, at one side of their mouth is saying that Xbox is nothing. Nobody likes Xbox. Nobody owns an Xbox. Nobody cares about Xbox. But then say Game Pass is stopping a dev from making money when that same game is available on PlayStation. Did they save it? Did they show up and buy the game?
You guys didn't buy South of Midnight on Xbox. Well, shit, you didn't buy it on PlayStation. What's your point?
What was Game Pass? How did Game Pass stop you from buying it on PlayStation?
Well,
right?
Listen, under
Game Pass didn't stop me from buying it on Xbox.
How that plays out. There are rumors out there that the money hadn't is coming back. So is that kumbaya energy of like, yes, here, take the bag, put your game in Game Pass, and then you can go ahead and sell it everywhere else?
Or
is that going to still stand? Exactly. We don't know what kind of energy. I feel like Asha would go ahead and put the hammer down on that.
I heard that earlier today. Is that just from one of the Xbox guys that I said, just imagine if they made a marketing deal with GTA 6, And then all of a sudden, you're going to see all these PlayStation fanboys go here. See, with all that money you paid for the marketing deal, you could have saved those studios. Like, but they'll ignore the fact that if PlayStation got the marketing rights and closed their studios.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation hasn't found a way to fumble Bungee.
Yeah, I mean,
like a generational studio.
One of my favorite points I like to make with people sometimes is during the whole ABK acquisition hearings with FTC and everything. All you heard was Xbox can't buy COD or COD Activision. They may make COD exclusive. Yeah, they may. They didn't. And how many games has PlayStation Money had it since then?
I mean, that's just the norm. But like Amit Kumar says, because we were talking about the fact that they're not going to take the money that they're no longer spending on these studios and give us a cheaper price on Game Pass. Right, these dollars are going to keep going, and now it's just going to go fund something else or go there. Well, Mick Kumar, right? So instead of funding their own studios to make AA games, they're going to just money hat / pay third-party AA studios for their game. Now, when you say money hat, are you suggesting that they're saying that they're going to keep them exclusive, or it's just Game Pass deals? Because at this point, they already had that for a long time, and that didn't really change anything for them, right? So I don't know how far they're going to go in this journey to be like PlayStation.
I don't know, because this is the problem that comes back in. There are a lot of games coming to Xbox that skipped Xbox, right? And why did that happen? Because of this same situation. The money had in these deals that PlayStation was out there making, and developers they went out there on Twitter and they were very expressive about how they were sick of this situation, because they're the ones that get affected, right? When you tie it to just one box. And so they're going to go ahead and hit the same wall. They're going to have the same problems, and games are going to be skipping platforms. These third-party games that, then people get really upset about the fact that why didn't Xbox go out there and get this for us? Or why didn't PlayStation go out there and make this for us? Even though, the PlayStation players are not as verbal when it comes to crying about a situation like that. So the Xbox gamers are going to be upset about why didn't you get this for us? So there are going to be these situations arising again. Just saying.
I agree.
And by the way, what does Lola think about all of this? Because am I the only one who's obsessed with her now?
Wait, you didn't see Buster. I also have the other one, the little one. This is Buster. He's the new one. He's got a little baby face. He's a year old.
Cute.
He's cute.
My dogs are both asleep. Otherwise, I'd show them off. And
These two were asleep. They just started prowling around. So I'm like, oh, hey. What the
They were like,
there we go. Look at the other one.
All right, Wilson.
Oh my God.
JShock's gonna be like, wake up.
There we go.
He's coming over here. Come here, buddy. Come here. You want a treat?
Aww.
Come here.
Look at this.
Oh, he knows I'm up to no good. You want a treat? Oh, yeah, I got him. I keep treats right under my desk.
He heard one of you say he heard your treat. Like, what the?
Oh my God. Oh, look
my
at the
God.
big guy.
Yours is bigger than.
Yeah, just a
What
little
an
bit.
adorable face. Oh my God.
My gosh. Are you kidding me?
He's
This
He's
is
like,
I
let me eat my
like the
treat.
handkerchief.
This is Remy.
He went to the groomer today.
Hi, Remy.
He's short for Remington.
Wow.
There's no chance I'm getting the other one in here. So she's
That's a good. We had a dog party.
Yeah.
Right?
And on that note, though, I do have to take off.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
No, JShock, man, appreciate you, man.
Thank you for being here, bro.
Yeah, it was good to meet Josh
Nice to
and
meet
Broke.
you. Yeah.
So thank you, and
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro. Hope to have you on again.
of course.
That's all, dude. Be easy, bro. And then there were 4. Man, we turned to 4
Did he-
gigantic people. What the
Did
fuck?
he throw a social?
Weren't we
stuff there?
smaller before? Wait.
Yeah, I've seen it smaller before.
We were small. Well, that was too
Ooh,
small.
now it's tiny.
It was like doing it
Balance,
naturally
babe,
with no
balance.
problem. Well, that's just me.
Oh, that's too big.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Let's see. Let me see something. Is it? Oh, you know what I think? Oh, here we go. For whatever reason, it went crazy and just decided to create its own boundaries that I had predetermined prior. So here we go. Bam. Save that. What the wait. Is it this one? Bam. All right.
Oh,
there we go.
Josh, just to give
more.
you a little quick history of the name Broke Boy. This actually developed in CMoney's and Doodle's chat.
Really?
It was kind of a play on words. It's like, what would your rap name be if you were? Well, and then of course of course it all tied back to the only broke people use Game Pass. So.
So you're a Game Pass user. Oh man,
it's had many derivatives since then.
I like it. I like it. You know what drives me crazy about Game Pass is that I wish I had more time. I'm like, why can't I have more time to play all these games? I'm so jealous of people who have the opportunity to sit there and like really play a lot of the games. I'm just like, but I'm lucky if I can squeeze in whatever, you know.
What kills me is all my friends stuff are on Xbox 2. So no matter when I start trying to play a game, they'll jump online because I play Rocket League and COD with them at least 3 or 4 times a week. So as soon as I start a game, they'll jump on. Hey, we're to play. I'm like, God.
I was just gonna play a 1-player game.
So my brother has a trick that he actually uses. I might maybe it's sacrilegious, but I might have to start play more single player games on PlayStation. That way they don't know I'm online.
There you go. Completely different ecosystem.
I mean, it would definitely
not necessarily with Rocket League because they can still see I'm online.
Oh yeah.
I mean, could you imagine Game Pass when we were younger and less responsibilities?
That's what I mean. I'm so envious of like
we had Game Pass. It was called Blockbuster.
Right? Oh man.
That wasn't.
I don't know what that is. What are you talking about?
I was a store manager at Blockbuster.
I worked at a video store when I was younger as well. A very long time ago. That was
one of those unique experiences. Like I say, when I was in the military, I took off every Tuesday morning because that's when the new releases came in. So I'd always go to Blockbuster first thing Tuesday morning to get the new movies. They knew me in the store. They knew me in the store and everything. Then I put in an application to work there one day. I guess they didn't know my name or anything. I got called and said, "Can you come in and do an interview?" As soon as I walked in the door, I was like, "Is that you? You're hired."
Awesome.
Nice.
Nothing quite like going to a store and browsing the aisles with somebody and like finding something to watch together or play. It's
most fun I've ever had in a job.
Like part of the date, right? You go out there, you see what you're gonna do for the rest of the night, and pick up some food and just have some fun.
And it was one of the most fun jobs I've ever had too, because you're sitting here, people looking at movies, and you work there, so like, hey, if you like this movie, you might want to consider this one. You're trying to kind of poke things out.
I still remember the covers of VHS tapes and DVDs from back then. Like if you name a movie, I will have a picture in my head of what the box art was like back then. It's so funny. And a lot of times it doesn't match the posters for the movies, so it's always interesting. Like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, those were the days.
Now, the flip side to that was when you went in looking for something specific and someone else already had maxed it out.
Another benefit of working there.
Right? For sure. I started working at Electronics Boutique, which is now called GameStop, back in the day. And the reason I started working there was purely because I wanted to get a PlayStation 2 when it came out. And I worked there for that reason, and as soon as I got my PS2, I stopped showing up, and I got
disappear on them.
And that was me. That was me with Blockbuster. I worked there. I didn't care about getting paid. I worked there for the benefits.
Yeah.
I do have to say that with Game Pass, maybe our lives would not have turned out the way that they have.
Probably
true.
Actually,
we wouldn't have
accomplished
as much.
There might have been some hobos. You know what I'm saying? Just living that life.
God.
Or we would have been those the early people on YouTube who are now the PewDiePies and the Mr. Beasts of the world.
That's possible too.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't
Damn
know.
it.
All right. Listen.
Back to work.
There's another part to all of this. Okay. Obviously, that was a lot of revisiting kind of what we spoke about yesterday and essentially, getting all the perspectives on it. But all that we talked about was to say at the end of the day, Xbox is now a different beast, right? They're a different monster, and some people might look at them and kind of frame this entire situation as they're looking now to directly compete. Okay, I think the conversations that we've had in the past, and Asha kind of used it, a different version of it. But like Phil, when he was talked about who's your competitor, he would be like Apple and Google. You know what I'm saying, or an Amazon,
Yeah.
right? And then now, Asha says, that their biggest competition is attention, right? But aside from that, it looks like based off of what's happening here, they're looking to compete directly with PlayStation. I think that's fair to say based off of what we're hearing with all these smaller studios. I mean, they're basically following the PlayStation blueprint.
So are they leveling the field?
Okay,
'Cause,
so in that
man.
same sense, for me, I personally, I got an Xbox about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and immediately after buying it, I didn't have buyer's regret, but I was just like, well, everything's coming out on everything, so I'll just play it on my PC or I'll just play it on my PS5 because I have it at this apartment and whatever. So now, weirdly, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad exclusives are coming back. It'll give me a reason to specifically play the Xbox. Like, I'm like,
I
that's
get
cool.
that.
I'm gonna play Gears of War. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm glad I have an Xbox. That's like, to me, that's a positive. I'm just like, all right, cool. Granted, sometimes I'm gonna still want to play the PC version just because it has more capability. But I mean, there's the exclusives like Grand Theft Auto 6, I believe, is not even going to be playable on PC at first. It's going to be a while.
They always delay like a year or two. So
yeah, because and that's going to be huge for all of them. But it's another reason to be glad for it. Exclusivity is it brings back the whole console wars thing. Like for me, when I was a kid, it was Sega, it was Sonic versus Mario, it was like Sega and Nintendo. That was the originator of like that console war feeling. And I think that it makes people, it gives people more excitement about their games, and that's part of why, as much as it sucks for people to lose their jobs, I think it's a smart move in the bigger picture because it kind of is taking things back in a way. So like, okay, yes, so this is only going to come out for PlayStation. This is only going to come out for Xbox, and it's reviving competition like that makes for better games too. I think because they have to one up the other side. If everything's getting released on everything, great, I guess, in one way, but then in another way, there's less need for competition. So I looking at it from a optimistic perspective, I guess I'm like, yeah. Make it harder on each other, therefore you must do better.
I agree with that to a certain extent, because I think when we're thinking about how much the consoles used to cost, right? And even now it's like, okay, well, we'll go out there and we'll get every console that came out, no problem. But now we're dancing around, and the handheld was $1,000. Right? What is Project Helix going to cost? And what's the next PlayStation 6? How much is that going to be? So when we're talking about thousands of dollars, and I don't mean to get, a bunch of versions. Like if you spend $2,000 and you get 3 or 4 Xboxes or one of each, that's a different situation than spending thousands of dollars on just that one console and accessories. And then what? Like at that point when you have to pick and choose, and we're not talking about the same idea of, the Series X, PlayStation 5, and even the new Switch. It took a leap, but it's still within that range that we're kind of used to now. I mean, the prices are just getting crazy.
It is crazy. Today, Snap just announced the official release of the specs, the spectacles glasses that are like an XR mixed reality glasses.
Oh, I saw that. I saw them on Twitter.
But they're priced at $22.25, I believe. And I'm like,
for the glasses.
for just the glass, but they are a
Wow.
full system. They're the first full augmented reality glasses, you know, and I believe they have the transition lens versions, but yeah, we're just entering into a new phase of like expensive tech that, like I was saying before, it's like not everyone's going to be able to get this stuff, and I just hope that we're able, I don't know, I just hope that people can still get systems and not go into debt, because they also saw that that Xbox is trying to incorporate Klarna or one of those like loan companies to allow people to put their Game Pass on that. And I'm just like, people are using that to get their Grubhub deliveries. That is taking it too far, you know. Like,
PlayStation has been doing this forever. Well, not forever, but they've been doing it for a while. I bought my PS5 Pro 2 years ago using it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, look,
but where are
allowing people to
make payments?
To do this, that's that's a personal problem. Like if you're saying to yourself, "This is the way I'm going to buy this thing," that's your choice.
But I just mean if the price gets so exorbitant that it's the only way you can acquire these things, that's the part that I'm afraid of. They're like, "Oh, don't worry, you could just go into debt to buy a Project Helix." It's like, what?
Just make payments.
I don't want to go into debt. I'd rather not. You know,
I'd say about this next gen though is thankfully it looks like this is not a gen of the past where going to this gen equals the demise of the current gen, right? The next gen is not going to get rid of this gen. If you have a PlayStation 5, if you have an Xbox Series X, every game that drops over the course of the next 10 years will still drop here.
It's crazy that they're trying to pull in this generation of gamers, right? And they're trying to get their attention. And, you know, this generation grew up differently than ours. And, you know, are we heading back to the pick a console, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't.
You have to pick a side.
We grew up.
You do have to. But let me say this. This is one thing I will say. Remember, Asha said core before more. Right?
Yes.
Honestly, that's probably going to turn out to be one of the most truest statements that she's ever made. Because what it sounds like to me is, you know, Sarah and Phil, they were, you know, Phil was, you know, trying to keep everything afloat, but Sarah was trying to gun for that other group of people, right? Hey, you don't need to buy a console. Play on your phone. You have one of those, right? Play on your phone, play on your tablet. You already have the laptop. Do that. It's already on your TV. Do that, right? She was trying to figure out how to reach that group of people, right?
Yes.
That group of people who weren't going to spend the money on consoles. And I think what you're seeing now from Asha is her saying, we need to extract the money from the core group of people. That console is going to be expensive, but you know what people are going to do? They're going to put that shit on their credit. All right. They're going to put it on the credit, and that's how they're going to buy it. Or they'll stay here and they'll buy another one of these consoles, right? Or they'll go buy the Series S as the cheapest entry point into this generation. But that's what's going to happen. And she's literally focusing on us, like on the core. She's not worried about how we're going to get these other people. She brought them up. Like she said it. They're two different groups. You can't do for one and make it attract the other. No, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely
Almost
not.
as if they're going to create like a new device or some cheap streaming only. I don't know. They were going to do that and then they stopped. Who knows what
there is a system coming out. I forget what it's called. It's like it's exactly that though. It's a lower entry point price. I think it's like $200, and it's like the GeForce streaming or something like that. I don't know the exact name of it. Maybe someone in the chat will know, but it's coming out like next year, and it's just streaming. Like it does not have, you know, you can't put discs in it. You can't download stuff to it. It is purely streaming. And that I think is going to become, weirdly, I think that is going to become a bigger and bigger thing because of the price challenges, you know, and that's a sad reality that I think loops us into those I agree check marks that we're always clicking on, and that that whole concept of you will own nothing and be happy. And I'm like, but I want to own some things, I want the hard copy of certain things. Like, what if the internet goes off? I want to be able to play my game,
Yes.
So that's where, for me, it's like, I don't like relinquishing all ability to play a game to having to have network connectivity. Even 007 First Light, like, you can play offline, but like if you have it set to on, it'll just automatically be on. I got to go to a thing at Summer Game Fest. It was like the IO Interactive thing, and the president of the company was talking about all the stats. Because everyone plays with it online, they're able to harvest all this information of everybody playing. And he's like, yeah, people use this the most, they use that the most. And, and it's just interesting because more people play online than not, even though they don't have to. It's an offline game, really, but it's just like the way things are now. Like, just be online. It's fine. So I don't know.
I agree with you. That dependency it drives me crazy, and you don't realize it until your internet starts acting out, and you're like, internet is life.
Right.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Let the power go out.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I?
Yeah, I'm about having a generator if the power and the internet go out, and being able to boot up a game and put the disc in and turn it on and play it with the generator powering the TV if need be, and still be able to play a game. Actually, my power up went out the other day, and I was playing the very, very close to the end of 007. The power went out in my neighborhood, and I live in LA, which is crazy. Just random power outage in the middle of a hot day. Wow. But then I was so thankful that I had my Switch, because I just popped my Switch out, and it was like I only have certain windows of time where I can actually just sit and play games for myself. And it was that one of those little windows, and I'm like, why did the power have to go out? I was like, oh, that's right, I have a Switch too. I'm going to play this game. So yeah, there's something to be said for having the ability to play something without the internet. And I just hope that it doesn't become so expensive that people can't have some option,
And keep your Switch or handhelds charged.
Yes, for real. That is a mistake I have made. I'm like, why didn't I have it plugged in?
Yes.
You always have to have this stuff plugged in.
Yes. There you go. That's a good one too. I don't have one. Is that the Xbox one? The Rogue?
Yeah.
LAX.
The Xbox Ally X.
I like it.
Yeah, I've got a OG LIX when it released. I've got the base LIX. I've got the base Xbox Ally. I've got the Xbox Ally X. Switch 2, Switch 1. I've got a Legion Go S SteamOS version.
Nice. Do you want to send me one of those?
I was actually thinking about getting rid of my base. I was actually thinking about getting rid of my base Xbox Ally.
Dude, I keep side-eyeing the new Xbox Ally X that they're releasing with the OLED
the
and
the
the other
X20.
thing.
OLED is the way
Don't
forward.
fall for it, babe.
It's just too much money to justify no power bump.
That's
They
the
put in
problem.
the new chip. Give me the new.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done it,
Well,
but just
like
for
the
the screen,
OLED
like, I feel like the
Steam
screen is good enough.
This
OLED screen. I
this
have the
right-
OLED screen. Deck.
This right here is one of the very few handhelds so far at this time the price has not gone up on.
That's crazy.
No. Matter of fact, I think they lowered the price of the cheaper one, right?
I've seen it as low as $499. But
Yeah.
When
I've got the 32 gigabyte memory, 1 terabyte Legion Go S SteamOS version. I bought it new last October at Best Buy for $850. That same model today at Best Buy is $1,600.
Jesus.
when the OLED, the Switch came out, like that was a no-brainer, right? So
Yeah.
if you're going back and forth, you just want it for the sake of wanting it.
Well, but this is the thing. It was a no-brainer for the Switch because the Switch original screen was caca.
So, what a description. Yes, go ahead.
Mierda.
Got it. Okay. I'm
Yes.
writing all of these down,
Going
by
to
the way.
OLED
It was
like, oh my God, this is glorious.
For
I
a
don't
review.
I don't feel when I'm holding my Ally X, I'm not sitting there saying, damn, I wish this screen looked better. It doesn't. It
But
looks,
okay,
it
but
looks
that's exactly
fine
what
enough.
I'm saying. That's
No, but
exactly
why I
my
said it's
point.
just side eye. It's just
Mhm.
side eye.
Okay.
I gotta say, the OLED screen
Side-eye
on this
until it's
original
not,
Switch
and
was
then
a
he
big
shows
upgrade.
up over here with a box.
It was a big upgrade. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm good.
See,
It
hasn't
was a
got
good
it yet.
upgrade.
See,
I
he
just
hasn't got it
wanted-
yet, Josh. But I kind of introduced him to because for my eyes aren't the greatest. So with all my handhelds, I've got the AR glasses.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So I'm playing on 130 inch.
in AR
Which ones?
glasses.
I talk about those
feel
on my
like
channel. I talk about a
I've
lot
got
of
the
reality
Picture
and-
Pros.
Nice.
Oh,
Those are beautiful. That would be my choice.
I bought them on eBay for like 180 on the
what are they called? What are they called? What are they called?
Vitcher Pro.
Yeah.
There's a
Vitcher
few different
Pro?
brands. There's Vitcher, and there's Vitcher's got like a few different
X-Real,
models.
right? Isn't that one of them?
X-Real's the other
Yeah,
one.
that's one.
X-Real's also, yeah.
eBay's got a actual Vitcher refurbished store on there.
I just want to address 89 Daryl, who said VR came and went like a fart. I disagree. If you check out my channel, I've got a whole long interview with Doug North Cook, who's the head of Creature Games, and we talk about the state of the VR industry. And you should check it out.
PSVR 2 maybe. Yeah, PSVR 2 maybe.
Even the PSVR 2, VR is definitely in a transition period, but I think you guys will see in the next month, 2 months, actually really in the next couple of years, it's going to be a vast difference than it is right now. I think the problem was that Quest Meta just kind of they bogarted everything else out of the whole ecosystem and made it impossible for little developers to get stuff out. So side subject, but
my kids took my kids.
Well, I think the thing about VR was that, like, I'm actually a huge VR fan. I have it. It's just time stops me from using it. I was huge on it. I had the first Oculus Rift. Then I got the new Oculus Rift that came out after that. That was way better. I got the Meta Quest 3 that Doodle bought me when it first launched. And I'm Gentle Stone's accent about the Steam frame. But like, so I love the idea of it because I love tech and gaming, right? Like for me, anything that makes me closer to immersion is great. And I've had some amazing experiences. I still think, and I haven't done it, but I still think Half-Life Alyx is still one of the best.
It's insane. And guess what? Most people haven't played it. And to answer another question that was in the chat that specifically relates to that, the Steam frame is coming out any day now, and that is it's the Steam ecosystem in a VR headset. And I, like I was saying earlier, I'm doing everything in my power to get a hold of one immediately when it comes out, because Half-Life Alyx is going to be playable on that, I believe, standalone. They haven't officially announced it, but there's no reason that it couldn't play standalone, even if it's not. But that's an incredible game, and that's an example of an actual AAA VR game, which there are literally like 3. There's the Batman game that came out exclusively for Quest 3. Asgard's Wrath was up there. You got Assassin's Creed, and then Half-Life Alyx. Like those are all
those games, and I still haven't played Batman.
Oh man, Batman is
I have it. It's right there.
Genuinely it's I get that VR has a lot of friction. Like VR is a thing where it's like you're shut off from the world. It's just you in this VR space. I think that's one of the reasons people aren't super into it, because it's very isolating in a way.
Yeah.
But it is so worth it for that game specifically. Like if you have a Quest 3, I highly recommend you play that game. It's not super long, but it is an actual AAA experience. And it's like once you get past the first little chunk of it, you get pulled into it just like you would with another Arkham game. But I guess my point is just VR is in a weird state because Quest 3 was the big thing, and I feel like people just want more out of VR and less friction. And pretty soon it's going to be the Steam frame. I haven't actually tried one myself yet, but apparently it is so much more comfortable than the Quest 3 and any other previous headset, with similar resolution and all that. But the cool thing is you can play all your Steam games on it too. So you could just pop it on and play all the games that would be able to play. They haven't said exactly what it'll be able to play. It'll have the verification symbol just like the other Steam Deck games do and stuff. But it's going to be a very, very intriguing system, and it's going to obviously sell out immediately. But apparently they've been shipping them to the US, so they should be out hopefully next week.
So I think the kind of double-edged sword with it is, and I think probably what 89 Daryl was referencing, is the fact that we all kind of thought it would be way more mainstream. Like I think we all thought that it was going to be like integrated into our daily gaming lives. Yeah, and it's its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like people who love VR gaming, and there's a lot of people, enough people, just not mainstream people, to go ahead and enjoy it. And I also kind of thought that would be the case. And it's just cost. It's just cost.
It really is.
Yeah, if you can buy a $150 to $200 high end experience, I think it would do much better.
And I think that we're coming to a point where, like I was talking about with, and this is me just theorizing, but the PSVR 2 was selling on a sale from Sony for like $270 or something like that 2 months ago, because it doesn't have the hardware in it. So they're really working hard to get streaming involved with VR, and it's harder to do because it's a much higher demand for like all that processing to have a full world around you. But they are working actively on getting full streaming, like GeForce streaming and all that, into VR headsets. So if you have a system that's more like the PSVR 2, where it's just the headset and there's no compute built into it, it's just streaming the information there, and it's just the computer that can stream it to you, that will make the price of entry way lower potentially, so that people who, could literally just get a headset that will stream all these full PC VR quality games, that will change the game entirely. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be probably a year or two before we even hear rumblings of that. But yeah,
I only played one game on my Quest, and that was PGA golf, because I like going to play St. Andrews and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's fun too, because when you're playing it, you can actually have like YouTube playing on the side, so you're playing, watching music videos too.
Now they've set it up with the Quest 3 now, where you can post, you could stick YouTube to the wall and have it in pass through. You could like do stuff around your house, and it's like you have a big TV stuck to the wall or in the kitchen or whatever. I say that it's cool. I don't actually do it, So, but they're trying. They're trying to,
because you still have to walk around with the headset strapped to your face to do that.
And that's the thing, is it's not comfortable. And things like those spectacles, the specs being announced today, that takes that discomfort completely away. They're just these little glasses, and they're not that little. They're actually pretty big, but they're not as ugly as the prototypes that they were working on before. But that friction going away and be able to just pop it on, and then also have like a TV posted on the wall, I feel like that's when things are going to start to transition and people will play more. I mean, you can play Xbox games on the Quest 3. It's really cool. I was playing was it Replaced?
That, yeah,
you can
that's like the AR glasses.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just pop it on, and obviously you're not going to stand and play a game like that, but I was playing, I think it was the beginning of Replaced on my Quest 3 with Xbox Ultimate. It's so cool because you can make it as big as you want or as small and as close as you want. It's just this changeable screen, and you use your Xbox controller. It links up and everything, and so it's a strange transition we're in right now with the way that people want it or not, but it'll be a very interesting time.
I'm still on the reservation list for the Steam controller since the first time they announced the reservation list for it.
Me too.
Yeah. that one was it looked good until I found out it didn't quite work with everything, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of mouse and keyboard Steam games, and from my understanding, the controller still works pretty well with those as well,
because it's got those touch pads. Yeah,
because I was talking about my first PC experience was one of the first was Full Throttle. One of my second ones, there was a game called Phantasmagoria.
I remember that vaguely.
It was a 7 CD-ROM game, but it was basically live action horror. They had a full makeup crew and everything for it. So there were scenes where like an axe would come through and split a lady's head in half and all kinds of shit.
Oh man, I just played Terim. Man, the name is so difficult for me to remember. But
I know what you're talking about. Somnium or whatever.
Somnia. Oh my god!
Did you play it at Game Fest?
I played it I didn't play it there. They did I went to their thing, and I sat there, and they were basically walking you through it. They played it. The actress was there. I got to meet her. I got to meet the directors. It was really, really dope. But then I played it myself here. I streamed it. And God, is it so good. I love it, bro.
Is it really?
I love it so hard. Swear to God, it's so crazy. Yeah. See, this is the thing. I love horror games, right? It's crazy, but I like to be scared. Right?
You did see they announced the Hellraiser release date now.
Oh
Did
yeah,
they?
I played Hellraiser. My whole idea of Hellraiser has switched completely.
That collector's edition, because I didn't care for the game, but I saw that collector's edition, like, oof.
Oh, see, I don't know about that, but the
$400.
trailers, oh, that's crazy. The
Wow.
trailers are a bit much for me, because I don't really care for like body horror, in a major way, but the actual game itself is fire. It's fire. I'm gonna get a preview out on it.
I heard it's pretty graphic.
It
I mean,
is, but
it's more than
the game
graphic.
is not
It's
that
more
bad.
than graphic. It's more than graphic. I remember when they showed the trailer, there was a little bit more going on besides gore.
Like, I'm sure the
I heard.
cutscenes are still going to be crazy, but like your moment to moment gameplay is not that hard. Like, it's not that crazy. So I'm feeling it. And they got puzzles and stuff that are also part of it. It's a pretty well-rounded game. And I really liked my time with it. So
just because we're talking about upcoming games real quick, CMoney, remember I told you I had a streamer friend a COD streamer friend who went out to Xbox, the Fan Fest and everything. She was, but she didn't get the thing. She didn't get the thing because she was registered as media. I was like, how are you registered as media? I found out today she was flown out by Activision to preview Modern Warfare 4.
Oh,
they brought like, it was like a girl gamer day. They flew out like 20 different women COD creators or streamers to show them around, show them the book.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have the Omni movement, but they said it's got a new slide movement where while you're sliding, you can rotate and shoot while you're still sliding the other direction.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I feel like Black Ops 6 was perfection. Then they kind of like took some steps back with Black Ops 7, and I don't know what they're gonna do with this. So we'll see. Once you're hands on, then you'll know. But yes, that was dope. All right. Let me go to this to the thumbnail of the show, which is the fact.
So it's time to start. So it's time to start the show.
Well, I was talking about about where Xbox is heading, right? I was kind of leading into this, and then we started talking about other things, which is fine. But obviously Xbox is changing their whole situation, right? They're going to bigger and better, right? That's the mindset, right? They're going to stop investing in small. They're going to invest in big. They want to be bigger. They want to be better, and they're investing in exclusives, right? We know that a lot of the games that were already announced already had plans to be on these other consoles that were already announced, or back-end deals that were already there. And we know Xbox, the one thing they could change all the other stuff, but one thing they haven't changed is that they always honor the deals that they make, which is a big deal. So they're doing that. So you're still getting your Halo over there. There's a lot of games that are still going to PlayStation, but they did do Gears, and for this year, Gears E-Day, and next year, Clockwork Revolution are going to be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. And right after the showcase, there were a bunch of interviews that we talked about, where they doubled and tripled down, right? Oh, this is not a fluke. This is not. These are not timed exclusives. They're going to be completely exclusive, and you can expect more exclusives in the future. Okay. And that's what was the messaging. And then out of nowhere, we get this dude Sneakers, who is a leaker or a wannabe leaker, because apparently he's always wrong. But he's a wannabe leaker.
He's the one who said in January this year there were going to be massive layoffs at Xbox.
Yeah, so he came out and said that that they were going to walk back the exclusivity. That in fact, when they announced it, it was just a ploy to satiate the hardcore Xbox fans and say, here, look, we did this. But in reality, they were going to walk it back. That's what he went ahead and came out to say. But Xbox was quick to respond to this. Now, sadly, the fact that they're responding to this and not all the talk about people getting fired and studios being shut down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let
That's
us
a lot.
know
That's
100% that this is real, because they would have also shut that down. You can't shut down one thing that's being talked about and not shut down the other. Which
If
is
you
crazy,
saw one thing, you saw the other.
they're like, yo, all the studios are being shut down. This is gonna be horrible. Oh my god, it's a bloodbath. And then on the side, some random person's like, hey, the exclusives are gonna get walked back. And Xbox is like, the fuck they are. Nope, the exclusives are here to stay. All right. What about the studios? Exclusives are here to stay. Okay, cool.
Clockwork Revolution looks great, by the way.
It does.
Looks
It looks
like a
amazing.
fun
It looks
game.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love In Exile, even though my love is very recent. I didn't know who In Exile was or care to know who In Exile was until Xbox bought them, and I played Wasteland 3, and it was amazing. So because that happened, I have since fallen for them, and I'm very excited for what they're going to bring. And then I started following them on Twitter, and they're hilarious on Twitter. They're so funny. So the fact that they have so much funny in them that they have to put it on Twitter because they can't put it anywhere else is phenomenal, right? So but Clockwork, absolutely love that. It looks amazing. Now,
you're hearing people say that Clockwork's not going to be a system seller. I know people out there who are more excited for Clockwork than they are for Gears.
Yeah,
listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I mean, truthfully, I would rather play Clockwork than Gears.
Yeah, and that's true, but you also already have an Xbox. This is the problem. There is no such beast as system sellers anymore. That's done, bro. That's done. People are not spending $600, $700, $800 to play one game. It's not gonna happen.
I was told they were doing it for Wolverine. I was told they were doing it for Wolverine.
Well, they're not. But GTA 6, yes. To be fair, GTA 6 is a generational game, and it is a game that had 180 million plus. I think it crested 200 million sales for GTA 5. So,
which won't happen this time.
Well, when you release it like 6 or 7 different times.
Well, I mean, in 10 years we'll look back and see how far they went, but that was a moment in time. I don't know if they'll recapture that, but they'll definitely make enough. You know, they'll definitely make enough.
They'll make enough. But
see, I'm one of the few that I don't care. I'm GTA 6, not me, not for me, not mine.
I mean, look, it's 100% for me.
There are other games.
Yeah, they're all coming out in September and October.
Exactly. The week of September 20th is like there's like 10 games coming out that are like
they're building up. They're building up. February next year is a big month too.
Yeah.
Let them try to be like, hey, CMoney, do you want to review these games? How the fuck? Who's gonna do it? I can't do it. It's gonna be one. I could choose one, and that's it. I can't sit there and do all this.
Can I ask you guys how excited you are for? Speaking of Xbox games that I'm excited about, Fable. I'm not that sad that it got delayed. I'm like, it needs its own spotlight, and it. I know we got like that whole sim demo, you know, but that I'm actually really excited for. And I never played the old Fable games.
You never played them?
Never.
Oh my god.
This is the one to play then.
This is gonna be the one.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that sweet spot in February. I mean, I love that Avowal dropped not this year, the year before. In that time of year. So I was hoping that they would do the same thing this year, but obviously we're getting it in 2027. I love a nice meaty February game, and this is going to be it.
Yeah, I agree.
That looks good.
Yeah,
did you say there was a
There's
2 years?
so much to
2
play
years ago
this year.
Was it last year Avowed, or was it the year before?
Last year was Avowed, and then this year was Avowed for PlayStation at that time. So Valve for Xbox before.
I had to look back at the list and see what all's coming, what all they announced. I think you got the Doom Dark Ages DLC too.
Yeah, they have so much, bro. It's crazy.
It was a good showcase.
That being said, yeah, it was. I think they did it was an amazing showcase, and it's just so crazy that all this stuff came out afterwards.
It was the time to drop all of this, though. They couldn't have done. That was such a high, right? Everyone loved the show, and you know, it's like, okay, maybe it won't be as noticed, even though this is like, you can't miss this mess. But I do think that people from what I've seen, I'm not seeing that many people make as big of a deal as they made for like when they let go of a couple of employees, or like, you know, not a couple literally, but or they shut down one studio. I feel like this is not being treated in that way. I feel like we could see a little bit more outrage out there, because that's normally what happens on Twitter. And I've seen people celebrating the fact that these studios are getting shut down and not thinking of what they normally put out there. Oh, the people losing their jobs. And, you know, it seems like that's not fitting the narrative right now, which is disappointing, because you always know that they're putting on a show. And
and I see a lot of these PS guys saying, I don't want to see those Xbox guys with fake tears for the game, for the studios being shut down and stuff. Here, like, tell that same shit to the PS fanboys cheering when it happens.
Listen, I don't know, because I see it. I don't know exactly who's doing this. A lot of people have burner accounts to go ahead and put out information that they can't say on their account, you know, or behave in a way that they can't when they on their own account. But yeah, it's kind of gross to see people behaving this way. I understand the big picture, but you know, when you have people out there already looking for work, it's like, man, that's rough, because it's not just one studio.
Mm-mm.
And they're acting like this won't be happening for PlayStation. It's gonna.
Right.
Well, it's happened over there before. They already did it.
Like
and I think, listen, everybody, it seems like everyone is just affected and pivoting in however way that they can, considering the fact that people are not buying games like they used to, or the gaming industry is overpopulated with games that, you know, that's actually, you know, factual and maybe part of the reason. A lot of people like to blame it on Game Pass, but the reality is that people were not going to show up and pay full price for these games either. So it's tricky.
If they weren't going to play the game on Game Pass, what makes you think they're going to spend $70 to play it?
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's pretty clear. But
my most anticipated this year still hasn't changed. Still comes out in October.
Which game? What did he say? I didn't hear. What's your most anticipated?
Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Star Wars Galactic, which
I know you get to play.
Nobody can talk about. So
I know I can't talk about it. I want to.
I'm a big Burnout Paradise fan, so when I found out some of the devs were making that thing, I'm like, I'm in. No more. I got 3 collector's editions on order: the Galactic Racer, Gears, and Tomb Raider.
I'm actually looking forward to that Zero Company tactical game that's coming out for.
Yeah, I've tried tacticals. Those are.
I like them.
Not my thing, but I'm going to wait and see about that one.
Yeah,
it depends on the
like an actual storyline. Yeah.
That's what I said when they showed the story trailer for Galactic Racer. I'm like, "There's a story, okay?"
Yeah, right.
And it's Star Wars. Is there a
Right.
girl in it, or is she? Or no, okay.
I feel that. All right. So Matthew Ball, all right, is the CSO of Xbox. He's the chief strategic officer. And when the world was talking about studios being closed, and there was a slight mention of exclusives being walked back, he came out very strongly and just made a statement. And here it is. He says, "These rumors are false. Gears of War E-Day and Clockwork Revolution will stay exclusive. There are no conversations and have been no conversations to quote unquote reverse course. And as we said last week, players can continue to expect signature exclusives from us every year." Now, to be clear, signature exclusives, what does that mean? That means certain exclusives, right? So I think painting the broad stroke of hey, all the games are exclusive is not happening just based off of this. So you can expect that they're going to choose, a sacrificial lamb every year.
Absolutely.
Say, you know what? You could have sold so much everywhere else, but you're going to be, oh, you held up your dog as I say sacrificial lamb. It felt so bad.
Don't worry
It's
about
like,
it. Not
you
you.
are the chosen one this year.
He climbed up my arm. He climbed up into my lap.
He was like, what lambs? But yeah, so they will choose a game every year. It looks like you're gonna get one. It looks like you're gonna get one or two
Well,
games.
it's just
a
like
year.
Sony. Like it's literally exactly the same model as Sony. Like they always have this year it's Wolverine. Last year it was Ghost of Yote. Next year it'll be what is next year? LaFay if it comes out.
If it's next year, yeah.
If it comes out next year, yeah. But it makes sense.
Right.
I mean, there's only so many things that they have to make exclusive. It just has to be something that makes it like, no, you can only get this on this,
Well, it's a like for like, right? I get that.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, they're being
Questions,
PlayStation, and this is what we told everybody, right? If they're gonna match PlayStation, literally we said that if we're gonna match PlayStation, they're gonna give you what PlayStation gives you, which is 1 or 2 exclusives a year.
Probably
That's
one.
Probably one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably
Yeah.
one. Facts.
Maybe they're talking about Hey, a lot of people are thinking maybe spring next year. I think holiday next year.
Yeah, holiday.
Maybe.
I feel like
the fact
that's
that they I feel like if that was the case, they would have put 2027 on there instead
they're
of
probably trying,
no date.
but it was a very
Yeah.
extensive.
I think they're planning to,
it was
but they don't want to give
extensive
it a date
It-
yet because they
it was a
don't
big
normally
demo.
give release dates for their games until 2 or 3 or 4 months out. That way they know
Well,
they're gonna get
you
them.
know why? Because
They have options.
everybody looked at that reveal trailer for God of War Ragnarok, and that said 2021, and then it didn't come out till
like 23 or something, right?
Yeah,
About
it's like
2020.
2022.
It came out 2022. So it was
Did it?
Oh, did it?
It was Ragnarok, Forbidden West, and GT7 all came out that year.
That's crazy.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't believe it's been that many
Um,
years.
But he did come out and say that. Now, again, a lot of people have gone online and they've started we might even be able to see it in here, where some people don't quite believe it because they're framing other
I know where
conversations.
I know where you're heading for. Yep, there it is.
Starfield was not a timed exclusive right there on the bottom, right? I mean, it wasn't a timed exclusive
So when
at the
they
time.
when they say timed exclusive, I'm thinking like PlayStation when they money had. It's timed exclusive for a year.
Well,
and
this
here you
wasn't a
can get-
year, right? Starfield was.
Well, I'm just
multiple
saying,
years.
but when people are talking timed exclusives, I'm thinking they've already got it's ours for a year, then you can have it. That has not been said.
I'm going to go ahead and go with what they already put out there. Gears, E-Day, obviously right around the corner. This is happening, and they've already committed to Clockwork, right? And that's next year. What I will say and remind everybody is that Asha said the plan is the plan until it's not.
Well, we're gonna pull up Asha.
Okay, good,
We're gonna actually
because
pull up Asha because she's gonna throw a little bit of a wrench into this entire, situation.
The statement.
It's her words, a video. We're gonna see the video that I think a lot of people choose to ignore. But yes, I don't see. Look, it's clear. Gears of War E-Day. I seen somebody say something similar to this, but I feel the same line. Gears of War E-Day. Gears of War is not, unfortunately, a brand that is a PlayStation players are excited for. Okay,
no.
they brought Gears Reloaded over there, and not many people showed up for it. So for them, they figure Gears of War is way more of a core Xbox game anyway. So let's make that exclusive. Clockwork Revolution, as dope as it looks, so did Avowed, so did Outer Worlds 2. And unfortunately, Clockwork Revolution has no cachet to the world. It's a new IP, and chances are nobody was going to care about it over there anyway, considering that In Exile, for what it's worth, is not really a household name, right? It's not something that people are like, oh my god, in Exile, like they're not a Bethesda, right? So the fact of the matter is, she's like, okay, that game is not gonna go do anything anywhere else really anyway, so let's keep it here.
It's also not going to sell consoles. These two games are not going
no
to
game is gonna
push
sell
that
consoles.
either. So
Agreed. So that is, frankly, the reality of what they've done. Now, this is what I'm going to bring up here. Okay, guys, just we got to keep it a buck and just make sure we're seeing things and hearing things for what they are. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up. This is Asha. She just did this interview. When was it? 7 days ago. Okay, last week. All right, with Fortune. Now I might have to rewind it a bit,
your
but
games to be everywhere. You're stronger when the world plays with you. At the same time,
okay. So
Previous
hold on.
Xbox leaders took exclusivity off the table. It seems like after Showcase, it's back on. Clockwork Revolution and Gears of War E-Day, both exclusives. What led to the pivot?
look, I think that we are the #2 publisher in the world. And when you do that, you want your games to be everywhere. You're stronger when the world plays with you. At the same time, we are increasingly becoming more of a platform. And it's hard to find examples of platforms out there that don't have exclusive service.
Real quick, I gotta say something. I don't understand why she keeps saying we're increasingly becoming more of a platform.
I know that's kind of hard to hear
Like
because
Xbox, by definition,
it's
has
a
always been
exactly it's a platform. So actually, what has increased is the other end of it.
Yeah, like
Like
increasingly
it's
become a publisher.
exactly. So the platform part has always
Yeah,
been there.
maybe
And
she's trying to say publisher without saying publisher. Maybe there's
no,
maybe
because
saying
she said
platform.
we're the #2 publisher, right? So she
Yeah, she
said
did.
that
She
very
said the word.
openly and comfortable. And so unless this is what they were pivoting towards was to kind of fade out the platform, and now they're turning back, unless that's the reference, Xbox is a platform.
Yeah,
There's not making it more of a platform unless the idea or the purpose was to turn it into less of a platform and become more of a publisher, right?
yeah.
So
Maybe she's saying we're switching gears, bringing it back to. It doesn't make
it doesn't make sense.
quite make sense.
It does though a bit when you dissect it.
Yeah, I mean, if we put our spin on it, yes. Now again, I'll get to the part that is going to be. I'm going to let this question play out because she says some things, but there's going to be one definitive line that's going to come up that no one is talking about because it doesn't feed the agenda. But we got to call a spade a spade.
And content. And so this is a journey for us. Our businesses
Okay,
in
hold on.
particularly do that. You want your games to be everywhere. You're stronger when the world plays with you. At the same time, we are increasingly becoming more of a platform. And it's hard to find examples of platforms out there that don't have exclusive services and content. And so this is a journey for us. Our business
right
isn't
now,
particularly
listen to
healthy,
this.
as you noticed, And so we're starting by introducing 1 to 2 signature exclusives. And as the business is healthy, we will look to try and do more.
Questions for Asha?
Stop right there. Stop right there. We're gonna have to repeat this.
Yep.
Because I
1
need
to
you guys
2.
to understand. Don't fall for the hype. Okay. Like I'm not against it, but I'm also not against feeding the bullshit.
They've only named
narrative
2.
Facts. Listen again.
Platform. And it's hard to
very,
find
very
examples of
important.
platforms out there that don't have exclusive services and content. And so this is a journey for us. Our businesses in particular.
Number one, our business isn't particularly healthy. Why is she saying that? Because she's saying that a healthy business can go ahead and have exclusives because the business is already at a healthy level. Right now, it's not. Right?
And then, healthy, as you noticed, as you noted. And so we're starting by introducing 1 to 2 signature.
1 to 2. 1 to 2. Hold on, Asha. You announced 2.
Exactly.
Why is it 1-2? Is it because that second exclusive is not in fact guaranteed? Let's continue.
Or is it because it's only these two for now, because they can lock those two in because they said it already, and then it remains to be seen if they can afford in the future to have even one more for the next year.
Exactly.
That's
Future
what this
exclusives,
part
and
says.
as the business is healthy, we will look to try and do more.
Hold on. The words are literally on the screen, so we're going to do it right there, right there. Okay. So she said, and I need you to understand this, as the business is healthy, so assuming we get the business to where we believe it is now healthy, we will look. Listen to this.
We'll consider it.
know. I
Asha,
know.
why are you doing this, bro?
Loopholes, baby.
We will look to try to do more and do more. We will
sounds so
look
political.
to try.
This
and do more.
contradicts that commitment, right? That they made after the show. You're sitting here saying there's so much more coming. This is happening, but it's not going to happen, right? Unless they fix the business.
Unless the business.
So
is
the exclusives are not to go ahead and make the business healthy,
No.
as people like to run with. The exclusives are coming as the business becomes healthy.
They are making the sacrifice now, which we said, and I leading up to it, I said I feel like Asha will do it to get the W, right? She
Then-
wants to be the one who said, I brought it back, right?
It's
But
getting Xbox in people's mouths again. People are talking about it.
It is,
Yeah.
which is part of what she's hoping that this will lead to, right? The hype will build up, right? The momentum will build up. That's what she's hoping, but making it clear that if that business doesn't get healthy to the point of where they consider it to be healthy, exclusives are not a guaranteed thing. And I think that's a bit of the disingenuous part of what Matthew Ball
Exactly.
came out to do, because he said it as if this is
A solid
locked.
thing that's
This is
happening.
locked. It is 100% happening. The reality is that, just like Doodle said, exclusives are not the solution. They are the reward. They are what will come if everybody does what they haven't been doing, and that is spend money on Xbox.
Spend
Right,
money,
and that's
spend the
why
time
he's the
playing these
strategy.
games.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's the strategy officer and she's the CEO, because they have different jobs.
Exactly. See, he's talking about the ideal, right?
Yeah.
The ideal scenario is that everything goes according to plan, right? And I'm not saying it won't. I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that it does. And I feel like the momentum is shifting, but the double speak is a problem,
That's
right?
it's
Because
a
I
big
shouldn't
problem.
be able to do this right now.
No, because this is the thing. You calm them down, right? And then you speak your truth. And then you speak the truth, right? And there's a lot happening here. And that's going to build what? Distrust, right?
Yep.
You're not going to trust what comes out of their mouth. When you have to look at 3 different places or 4 and connect the dots to see what the truth really is, I mean, people will catch on to this.
Mhm.
It's going to become a bigger problem.
And that's an
Yeah.
issue.
This transparency is not really happening. We're getting a lot of different versions and a lot of things that are contradicting each other. And so, listen, you can put a Band-Aid all you want, but at the end of the day, I think she's going to come right back to, I told you guys, the plan is the plan until it's not. And that's why things are changing.
Yeah.
Dude, this is literally the type of stuff, and obviously not to the extreme, but it's literally the type of stuff that was happening at the Xbox One reveal, where afterwards the back and forth talk was all disheveled, right? She's talking to Fortune here. She's not talking to some YouTube channel, okay?
Right.
She's not talking like she's talking to a place that their investors are going to look at and see what she's saying and
that's
make
why
decisions
she
based off that
cannot
stuff.
twist it, because this is not Twitter, right? This is not a, hey guys, this is what I'm leaving here, get excited. No, you have to come correct.
Now, what this is a warning shot, right? So these people, okay, and again, we've made our position clear. For us personally, I didn't care either way, right? Whether exclusive, not exclusive, don't matter to me.
I don't.
All
I still don't.
All power to the people who wanted them, and I understand why Asha is doing it, right? She is trying to get those people back in their favor, right? She wants that group of people to be excited, to be pumped, and to be like, yes, this is what I want. I'm excited. I'm going to go do it. Now, I will tell you, if all of that is just words, and come Gears of War E-Day release, people are not lining up in droves to purchase and or sub to Game Pass, and then not only do that, but stay sub to Game Pass because they're playing multiplayer or living in that life, there will be ramifications from that. There will be things that come from the lack of support. Now, it's not going to be all, let's be clear, it's not all resting on Gears, right? All this buildup needs to equal more spending on Xbox, more spending on Game Pass, more, buying whatever consoles people can get. All these things are going to play into it, but 100%, like, do not get it twisted. This is not 100% locked, guaranteed, no matter what you're getting.
No, it's not. And I will say this because, like, again, I can care either. I don't care what they do. Go ahead and fix your brand. But when you are talking about shutting down all these studios and you're still gonna wait and see, hey, wait, let's see how these games do. Like, if you're saving all this money by not investing anymore on these studios, people should be able to get their exclusives, right? Wouldn't that be the balance?
So. Yeah.
Wouldn't this be what fixes that problem? Players that are out there upset about exclusives should have no problem with exclusivity anymore, because this shutdown, this bloodbath that we're seeing should solve that problem. And these players should get what they want.
100%. 100%. That's just the reality of what it is. Honestly, you're 100% right. Like, if you're doing all this mess, if all these studios are going to be closed, like, this should equal, hey, you are locked. We are going to give you these exclusives. We're going to eat the cost. It is what it is. We want you guys to have it. This should be defined. This should not be a, hey, we're not in a healthy state, so,
wait and see
if we get there, because now you're basically doing what we kind of alluded to, which is you're putting the onus on them, not on you anymore.
Well, this is the problem. We're looking at a PlayStation situation where they're like, you're going to deal with the consequences of the money that we want to make, whatever that means. So the studios are getting closed down. Those games are not being made. Those games are not going to hit Game Pass. And so we're getting less in there too. And just leave it up to whatever deals you end up making or not. And then on top of it, you're not giving them the exclusives that supposedly you need the money to go ahead and have them. What's happening with all the other costs that you're shaving off?
Yeah, and they need to hold true to it. I mean, Sony is pulling all their support for switching any of their games to PC, which was a thing. They were like timed exclusives for PC, and now that's not a thing. They made it very clear. That's it. End of the road. It's just PlayStation now. So,
to be fair, they have never confirmed this.
Really? I thought it was like a for sure they're done.
I made a statement once, unfortunately.
about not doing
No,
exclusive.
It's just been-
Jason
it's
Schreier
basically
came out
just
with
been
a
what
message.
this is so far, which is just words from reporters and other
Not
people.
official.
Jason Schreier said he got information that Herman Holst had a town hall saying they were going to do it, but PlayStation themselves have not officially said anything. Do I see them doing it? Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But
it's
not
tricky though,
confirmed.
because like PSVR 2, they've released attachment so you can actually play PC VR games. It's advantageous for them to release it, in that same way. But yeah, I don't know. It in terms of both of them, they're obviously looking at each other's game plans, and not saying anything necessarily yet. Sony's like, okay, we'll hold back. We won't say that officially, but likely do the same kind of thing. Who knows? I think
and
the cost of
they're trying to
systems-
say them not saying anything is them confirming it because they shut down like the DRM stuff and things like that.
Right. It's a shame.
I was like, I'll wait until I see them either say something or coming around the end of the year, Ghost of Yotei is still not on PC, then maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, look, at this point, like, does it even matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they put their games on PC, if they don't put their games on PC, like, the PC players weren't embracing the games anyway, like that.
Right.
Like,
it's the hardcore PlayStation people.
Exactly. The
But,
only game
honestly,
that was there was the Helldivers 2 was the only one that kind of blew up over there.
You know what drives me nuts about PlayStation with their state of plays and all the times they show any games? It makes me absolutely crazy that they always say and they always show footage from PS5 Pro. They're always shown from a PS5 Pro, and I'm like, nobody has a PS5 Pro. I'm not nobody, but the percentage is so tiny. I'm like, stop doing that. You're promising something that is not the majority of owners of PS5
I do
not have Pro.
True.
I know you mentioned that, and I want one, but I can't justify selling my PlayStation 5 and spending more money to get the Pro.
Well, I got a good deal. Like I say, I traded in because this is back when they were doing higher trade up values at GameStop. I got like $450 for my Pro. I traded it for my regular PS5, and then I traded in 2 1Ss, got $100 each for them.
Nice.
And then I traded in a controller or something, so I ended up paying like $100 out of pocket.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
but that's the thing.
not bad.
And they're counting on this because now they're like, okay, if we don't release it on PC, then people are more likely to want to upgrade to a Pro. But to me, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till the PS6 comes out because I got a PC. It's like, I'll deal with the slightly less graphical fidelity and slightly less quality frame rates on my old PS5.
But you're right. Most people are not going to get to see the quality of game that you're showing them.
It's
so
shameless.
it's like false advertisement at this point because
it is.
a lot of people didn't get the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I get why. But yes, like your audience, what you have out there, and so don't show them something that most of them are never going to get to really see past your show.
I agree. I think that's just the reality of the situation. But frankly, Xbox, doing this, as I've, obviously yesterday was emotionally charged for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was very, like
It was
upset that
very
this was all
unexpected.
happening.
Mhm.
But again, like I now see what they're going for. You know what I'm saying? I now see what they're going for. The exclusive play and the getting rid of the smaller games that don't really make much money, but they still take a lot of money when you combine them all, right, to make them and sustain these studios every month, no matter what's happening. And wanting to funnel that in to making the bigger games even bigger and potentially getting these bigger IP out quicker. I mean, it makes sense to me, man. Like realistically speaking, there are phenomenal indie games that are coming out, right? We played a lot of them at Summer Games Fest. Right now, Steam Fest is happening. If you go on Steam, you can play so many pretty like cool, bigger indie games. And frankly, like maybe maybe Xbox should not be the one trying to save indies. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Xbox should not be the one who is investing in these smaller experiences. Maybe that's just for indie devs to figure it out. You
It
know?
seems like right now, Xbox can't be the one. Obviously, they tried, and Phil tried, and that did not play out. It was weighing down the bigger games, and as much as maybe some of us enjoyed those indie experiences, and they were done at a very high level, if that's what needs to go, then that's what needs to go.
Listen,
At least these
Xbox can't
studios
go
that were close
and
to
Game
closing
Pass.
down are at least they got an opportunity to go ahead and deliver
And make
another
some
game.
phenomenal games.
Exactly.
You know, another thing, another piece of this puzzle that I want to mention is again with Steam, you know, the fact that you were talking about Steam Next Fest and all that, indie games, and you know the 9,000 games that came out on Steam last year. People, you know that Xbox and PlayStation, they are not thinking about the Steam machine that is about to get dropped as well, which is a new console on the market. And regardless of the price, there's going to be a whole new competitor on the market that is not like the last time they tried it. And not only that, the Steam frame, you know, that's the smaller thing in a certain sense, but again, people will be able to play Steam games on that system. So the reality is there's a new console that's coming into the ecosystem, and people have huge libraries of games on Steam that they are going to be thrilled to, you know, finally be able to play in their living rooms, much less people who just want something different, you know. And it's definitely in their minds. I know it has to be, because it's an up and coming thing. So many people that I've talked to are like, I'm buying one no matter what. Like, I'm getting one. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My PC's old. I need a new system that's good, and I don't want to buy an Xbox. I don't want to buy a PlayStation. They are buying that, like, regardless of the price, because to them, it's like, even if it's $1,200, it's, you know, cheaper than a lot of PCs around the same price, and they want that Steam attached to it. It's got the little face plates and all these things. Like, there's a competitor coming in for all the systems. I mean, Nintendo's not as affected, I guess, because, you know, the handheld factor and the exclusives that they have, but I really do think that part of this weirdness in the industry is partly a rumbling of that reality. It's going to change things, you know, and it's going to happen quickly. Other than the fact that they won't have GTA 6 coming out on the Steam machine, at least not right away, but that's going to be one of the strongest selling points for keeping those systems selling in the next few months, because it's going to be only on those systems. But people who don't care about it, that have an old PC, they're not going to get an Xbox or a PS5 probably, because they're like, oh, I want to get a Steam machine. I can play all the stuff on all the things, you know? It's a little bit more open source.
Honestly,
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I could definitely see that. Honestly, I would have liked to get a Steam machine if it wasn't for the fact that it's not powerful enough.
Right.
You know,
I know my PC is great.
Yeah, I have a 4090. I can't go down to play those games on there. It just
But if you're in a situation where that's an upgrade, or like you need
we know that
fix, or you
statistically
don't
most
want-
people are still rocking old ass graphics cards.
Yeah. Anecdotally, even for myself, so many people that I know are just like, oh dude, that's the thing I want. You know, I can't wait till they finally bring that out. And you know, they're gonna follow in the same footsteps as the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck was revolutionary in terms of people taking their libraries with them and being able to play Steam games on a much more basic system. A lot of people have a Steam Deck and they don't have a PC, you know, and being able to get that machine that does what a Steam Deck does, but even better at home, they will jump, they will bite, you know. So it's going to be an interesting few months for sure.
I'm waiting to see how much it costs. Because I did an upgrade on my PC recently, so I pulled out a 4060 Ti and put in a 5060 Ti on my PC on one of them. So I'm waiting to see what the price of the Steam machine is. If it's $700-800, I'm just gonna build my own Steam machine using that 4060 Ti.
Right. Yeah. Since you already have it.
Yeah. The only other thing that says the one thing that we have to remember is that the new Xbox is essentially going to be a Steam Machine Plus, right? For people who are on the PC side of things, if they said to themselves, well, I want to get something that I could play all my Steam library, but also have the Xbox, also
No,
have
it's
a
true.
console.
Yeah, and it's higher tier for sure.
If
And
it
it's definitely
happens,
higher tier.
like I said, now that's a if it happens, because she said they are rethinking the Helix, so it might not be what we thought it was going to be.
I don't think she said they're rethinking it. I think they're rethinking the business model that's attached to it. That's where the potential for those payment plans come in. There's a lot of different scenarios that exist there, that can happen. But I just think that overall that's going to be a huge, like when that comes out, that's going to be another big moment where people are going to be able to be like, well, I like PC a lot, but I also get to dabble in the console space, right? So, I think it's a win-win for those people.
So what do you think? Do you think Elder Scrolls 6 console exclusive 2035?
2035. I honestly think they're going to try to get it out quicker. I think that's one of the reasons. I think they want to throw. I mean, that's what Asha kind of said, right? She's like, we have all this world-class IP that we're not investing in, which is basically them saying we're spending money on these small games that don't give a crap. So we're going to start doing that. And, one of the rumors is that Obsidian is part of this conversation, but because they want to turn them into a Bethesda studio, like a Bethesda support studio to help, make Fallout or make, help them with Elder Scrolls to get it out sooner. So, but is it going to be a console exclusive? I guess we'll see how these games do, and
know.
what they do. It's highly unlikely, but in this future, this future where if we're looking at, the positive idea that they do in fact get the business to a healthy place, where they do in fact reinvigorate the sales of the console, and they can find a way to make more consoles, that people are buying these consoles, in that future where they get to the point where exclusives are still a thing, right? If we get past Clockwork and they're like, yo, this worked, okay, we're banking, our margins are up, everybody's happy. Yes, I think it goes exclusive. I think they make all their biggest games exclusive going forward.
I mean, they bought Bethesda for a reason, right?
100%.
Well,
Well,
in my mind, I'm like,
Starfield
why else would they have gotten it? It's like, I mean, Starfield, sure, but we all know how Starfield
they
went.
thought Starfield was going to do bigger. Not that it didn't do great. Like, let's be clear.
No, yeah,
it's sold phenomenally. But it's not quite the household name, right? It's not a Elder Scrolls or Fallout, right? It's Starfield, which is more of like a hardcore person game. Maybe they got to make part 2 to get there. I don't know. We'll see. But I think
30 years from now.
Exactly. Well, I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is what's going to cause Todd Howard to retire.
Oh,
because maybe it's going to be burnout. Maybe it's going to be like, bro, like we need these games. Like, I know you want to be a part of this and take forever, but like all those people who work for you know how to make this game. We gotta make this. We gotta make these games faster. Like, I don't know. We'll see. And also the rumor about machine games. You heard there's a rumor about machine games might be up too.
I thought I heard a rumbling of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they just made the most, like, Indiana Jones was amazing. But yeah, there's rumblings.
You've also got to think when she was talking about exclusives, they're still going to be on Steam. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, well, PC is its own world, right? So,
what I'm saying is, even if you say if Xbox does decent and PC go through the roof, then they say, man, we still don't need PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that's going to be I think what is always going to come down to is whether or not the plan works. If Xbox can rebuild what they've lost, if they've gone ahead and made it a scenario where they are fundamentally, as Asha put it in that clip, healthy, right? If we get there, then I think they're golden. I think they'll get to where they want to be. And I think that the fans who crave, these exclusives will go ahead and get their exclusives forevermore. And I think that they won't lose them like they did last time if Xbox gets to that spot. If they don't, get prepared to figure out what's the next version of the Xbox story, because Satya is standing in the corner,
The saga
just
continues.
sitting in the dark, waiting to come out if things don't go the way that they want it to go. There's a
Satya
reason why
continues-
Asha's so amped right now, like trying to do things so quickly, right?
Agree.
Typically, somebody in her position would, yes, want to make moves, but want to be more
Cautious.
and take them a little slower. And although she said things like, we want to make the right decision, not the quick decision,
She's moving pretty quick.
she made the decision, right? Like she
Yeah.
did it. She did it in time for this. So yeah. So we're gonna wrap up, guys. I do got to get Reggie Bone in here. Thank you for being
Reggie.
here, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says we still need you to release the video of you when exclusive was announced. I did record the whole thing. It's been a while. I thought I was gonna be able to get it out faster. But I mean, unfortunately, it disappoints you. I was like, oh wow, they did it. Some people are not gonna like that. And she made some people happy. Literally were my words. I told you, it doesn't bother me either way. I don't want to, like, I know you guys ran with it, and I was like, understand, when I was talking about that, I still don't believe that Xbox needs exclusives. They need to do something for Satya for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like to get Satya off their backs. And this is the move they're making because they're trying to appeal to the hardcore. They're putting the onus on the hardcore. You understand what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They're challenging the hardcore. They're saying, this is what you asked for. Prove to us that it's going to help our business. Because if you get what you want and it still don't work, that's going to be a whole different ballgame, right? But that is so I'm I will probably figure out a way. I don't know, maybe I'll just put it up for members or something, because it's so outdated at this point to put up the reactions from the show.
No, I think it's still relevant. I think you need to cut that video. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we do have Raiden Blade with the
Raiden was
Appreciate
good.
you, my dude. Says Xbox should stay quiet and let the actions do the talking. I mean, that's really the the crazy thing. That it seems like they talk a lot. They do. And before, I used to find it more endearing, like, oh, look at them, talking to the community and saying stuff. But it's like, when you're getting arrested and they say you have the right to remain silent,
Yes.
anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. Bro, everything they say is used against them forever. So it's like, if you stop talking, nothing could be used against you. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I also agree with Raiden. I think they need to calm down with Twitter. I think they need to calm down with the information. Like, show us what you're going to do, because again, now we're having a lot of contradictions out there. But I want more focus. I need them doing their thing, not so concerned with what's happening out here. You can check in every once in a while, but I feel like it's too much.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot of back and forth. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. So you got Negan in here, says, if you want to sell consoles to new gamers, you need exclusives. I mean, sure, or you could just make good games, and make it make sense for the average person to go ahead and buy the console. But look, at the end of the day, it just kind of is what it is. Whatever Xbox is doing, you know, I support their decision to do it. I mean, Asha is there. As long as it's not, listen, I made we drew our line, right? Game Pass is the line.
Well, it's really
Right?
simple
So anything they do outside of Game Pass,
considering
cool.
all the changes that are taking place and the fact that they are letting people go, they are closing down studios. Like this is a lot that's happening. And again, I'm assuming, considering the fact that some of these people are out there looking for a new job, that there's valid, there's this is true, right? This is valid. Considering the fact that all these changes are taking place, I wouldn't expect anything to be off the table. I think once things are happening that do not sit well with any one of us, anyone in the chat, anyone out there, any one of us on the panel, I think those are decisions that we need to make once that line is crossed, right? But this is huge, the fact that they're going out there and doing all of this. So I don't want to speak as if something's off the table because they've already touched Game Pass. Call of Duty was not supposed to be out of Game Pass, and I understand that they justify the situation with, you know, lowering the price. And if you think about it, if you didn't stack and get a cheaper, you know, deal, it comes out to the same and then a bit more. You know, get yourself a snack while you play. But it's they already touched it, and now with these studios shutting down, these are less games going in there that we have to now wait and see if they're going to go and make these deals and bring back a balance that sits well with us. So as of right now, with all this smoke, nothing's off the table. Anything can happen, and decisions will be made as they keep messing with the brand and the games and the studios.
It's going to be an interesting next month, 2 months, 3 months. I think honestly, once the dust settles from the holiday season with GTA 6 and all the stuff that's coming up, we're going to have a much clearer image of what the next, you know, year or 2 years is going to look like for the gaming industry as a whole. It's going to be a lot different, I think, a year from now. We're going to be talking about stuff that happened this year and be like, wow, remember when? You know?
Yes.
So we'll see.
I hope that we don't look back and say, remember that time when Xbox had all these studios? You remember that time when Xbox was providing all these games to the industry? You remember that time when Game Pass was around?
Right. Remember when we could afford to buy consoles and play them at home?
Yes.
Facts.
Oh man, that was gonna hurt.
Right. Remember when we used to be able to go shop at Blockbuster and pick out a movie?
Snap.
Sad but true. All right, let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. I think Xbox is going to do fine, and I think we're. It's just going to be a very interesting like separation in certain ways. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. Listen, I wish those games had sold more, right? But again,
listen, at least we got the experiences from them.
Absolutely.
Right? And they're still there. We could always go back to revisit them. You know, they're phenomenal.
And the upside again is that if they would not have done this, if they didn't, you know, scoop up these studios, we probably wouldn't have seen these games. So
yeah, look, it is what it is. Thank God that there's plenty of great games that are smaller out there without an Xbox or a PlayStation backing it. I mean, honestly, I just played some great games like Don't Fret was really, really good. Screenbound is pretty cool. That Somnia Terra.
I just downloaded Don't Fret. I'm going to try it. I was going to
Don't Fret is fire,
awesome.
Bro. Don't Fret is really good. I really, really enjoyed that. Scared the crap out of me. It's actually unexpectedly deep, my dude. It starts off crazy. Like, I did not expect the way that it started. It's actually really, really good. So, there's tons of good games that are out there that are coming that are not backed by the bigger. And maybe when Xbox did it, maybe we needed that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was the time that it was needed. And now with tech the way it is, Unreal Engine 5 being out and very easy to get into and develop good looking, high quality games from small teams. Maybe it's just not needed anymore. And at the end of the day, it's sad that things are happening to these studios. It really is. But you know, at the end of the day, Xbox needs to compete with, you know, the industry. You know, they have to be able to be the big. I mean, they have all this money. If you can't be a big dog, what are you doing? Right? I get it. I understand. Right? Let's go ahead and let's see what this actually translates to. I hope they come through with this. Right? I want to see. I said I wanted a big new IP that they spent a lot of money on, that really, at least visually, looks like you did, right? Like, I want something big that has nothing to do with these other studios, these other big IP. Obviously, it's not happening right now. They're gonna go ahead and bank on the big IP for now. Cool, great. But as this starts playing out over the course of the next few years, I hope we start seeing them make big swings, you know, home run swings out. They are actually trying to develop new big, not just repeat big.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with us. Shout out to the homies who've been live in the building, man. Everybody who super chatted and gifted memberships and all that fun stuff, man. We appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Of course, shout out to the panel. That's right. We have the homie Broke Boy in the building. We did have the homie JShock Blast in the building with us, man. And then of course, our boy Josh from Game List Plus. I did go ahead and pin his information on the chat. Go ahead, check out his channel. Josh is super dope, man. It was great meeting you at Summer Games Fest. I'm glad we were able to connect. I'm glad you were able to come through, man. This was really dope.
My pleasure.
Why don't you just, you know, anybody who's here at this point, right, just tell them again who you are, why they should come rock out with you, man. And
I have my channel, Game List Plus. I do top 10s where I count down the best of various things. A lot of it's XR, VR content, but I cover the whole gamut of games, Nintendo, PC, all of it. And I've been doing more interviews with developers and seeing a lot more of the brand new stuff that's coming out. I always end my videos with go try something new, because that is what this is all about. Experiences being something fresh, and that's what I like to highlight in my videos. So check it out, Game List Plus. Yeah, I hope to see you guys over there.
That.
And I hope to come back and be on here with you guys some more. This is a blast. I had a great time. It's an honor to be here. Thank you guys so much.
It was an absolute pleasure. You are always welcome, bro. It was such a great time. CMoney was not exaggerating. You're such a dope dude. Thank you so much for being here.
And we got doggies too.
Yeah, exactly. The dogs will make
happen. All the doggies. That's dope. That's dope. All right, guys. And then Broke Boy, obviously, why don't you let the people know where to follow you? You know, where to check you out.
So I'm pretty much only on Twitter. I've got a YouTube channel, but again, as I always say, I don't do anything on it anymore. So I'll throw my Twitter in the chat. So you'll usually find me just either making normal posts or making fun of PS fanboys in their posts.
Nice. And then of course, make sure you guys check out JShock Blast over on his channel. Super dope dude. Guys, we remember Josh, do you do any live shows?
I do sometimes, not a whole lot, but
so
I'll
not
do
like a
comment reading. Not a scheduled day, no.
Okay.
Well, when you subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah, make sure you hit the bell so you know when he goes live or when he posts another video. And yes, hopefully he will be here again.
Yeah, I'll be back.
We do enjoy.
I love nerding out and talking about games, and I don't get a lot of that at home generally. That's like work talk. It's nice to sit in a room with people who love games as much as I do to talk about it.
We sometimes get easily sidetracked, but
it's all good. It's part of the experience, right?
That's what we do.
We need dogs in our lives.
That's right.
That is right, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you again. Remember, we will be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time with On Points. We doing it live, where I will be playing some more games. There's some more games that I have that I was supposed to play that I haven't played yet.
Get to
for
it.
some for some devs. So we will play that on on Thursday. And then Friday night, we're back with the night shift, the Xbox night shift. Let's Talk Gaming with myself, Doodle. We'll have Hargeet Chani in the building, and who knows to show up, man. We don't know. We're definitely gonna have a good time, man. So that'll be 8 p.m. Friday night. Guys, thank you again. We appreciate you. And with that, we are gonna go ahead and end the show. Oh, wait. Don't forget tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow. On Point Nerd Nights, Anime After Dark. That's right. I saw Dip Down pop in. I meant to say, the crew of Dip Down, Stevie Ray, Amber, Ryland Killer, who was here earlier, Madman or Mad Dot. They will be live tomorrow with Anime After Dark. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you come through, show some support to the homies on their brand new show, episode number 2. All right, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the show the way we end every single show. Doodle,
Yes,
we're done.
we are.
Until next time,
You're intruding.
you're intruding.